WDAZ Sports presents Fighting Sioux Hockey live from the Winter Sports Arena at the University of North Dakota. Tonight, the Sioux take on the Gophers from the University of Minnesota. Tonight's action is brought to you by Valley Honda, H.E. Everson, the First National Bank, Grand Forks, Home of Economy, Hofford Motor Service, the Golden Q, Acme Electric, Norby's Bridal, Happy Harry's, Shakey's Pizza, Oppegard Implements, Wilcox and Malm, The Ski Shop, Bad Alberts, The Riverbend, McDonald's, and GR Graphics.
The North Dakota Sioux and the Minnesota Gophers know what they have to do tonight. The Sioux need a victory to increase their first-point lead over Minnesota. Their first-place lead, I should say, and the Gophers need a win to get back into a first-place tie with the Sioux. Good evening to you. Pat Sweeney along with Serge Gambucci at the UND Winter Sports Center, set to bring you the action of the second game of the series between North Dakota and Minnesota. And Serge, both teams will be missing 2 players ejected for fighting last night, so that's going to force some changes.
It certainly is, Pat. Not only is it going to force some changes, but it's also going to force each team to play with 18 players rather than a normal 20 because of the ejections. They cannot replace the ejected players, so they'll switch their lines, and I'm sure they know what they're going to do, and go with 18 apiece and see what happens.
Now, last night, the Sioux got off to a 3-0 lead after 1 period. What about tonight? The Gophers don't want to let that happen again.
They certainly don't want to let that happen. You get down 3 goals early in the game, it throws your game plan off, and you're playing catch-up hockey right at the start. Now, if the Sioux get 3 goals early on, the Gophers better get at least 2 so they can stay close throughout the entire game.
And if the Sioux needed any extra incentive for tonight's game, they got some courtesy of the Minnesota Gopher cheerleaders. Just moments ago, the Gopher cheerleaders paraded around the rink carrying a sign which said, "Gopher Hockey, America's team." And you see the reaction as they are pelted with cups and garbage. I don't know, Serge, is that the smartest thing to do?
Well, I don't know. I don't know if it's another incentive for the University of North Dakota. You know, there's a lot of Americans that are cheering for the University of North Dakota, too, so it could be a, work in reverse as far as the University of Minnesota is concerned.
They're introducing the starting lineups now for the Gophers. Rob Stauber will be in goal tonight, making his first start since December 14th, as John Blue gets a rest. The defenseman will be Randy Skarda and David Espy. Espy moving down from the forward line. Tim Berglund there, number 27 out of Thief River Falls, will start at left wing tonight. There's Timmy. At right wing will be Tom Chorsky. And Corey Millen, number 8, will start at center, although Millen, we learned just moments ago, banged up his right kneecap last night. It's pretty painful, but Millen is going to try to play tonight. So Corey Millen, the Gophers' all-star center, not at 100% for this one. North Dakota also making a change in goal. It'll be Scott Brower, making his first start since December 28th when he lost at Lowell 4-1. Ian Kitt will be at one defensive position, and playing alongside him will be the big senior from Olds, Alberta, Tarek Howard. Bob Joyce, the Sioux captain, will start at left wing tonight. He got a power play goal last night. This line remains intact from last night. Mal Parks playing at the right wing. And Tony Herkus at center. Herkus, the number 1 star of last night's 5-2 victory with 1 goal and 2 assists. The Sioux will be using 3 lines tonight. Jeff Bowen moves to left wing. Scott Koborinsky will center him along with Perry Nakonechny on the right wing. Brent Bobick will be the spare forward. Grant Paranika and Scott Dube not playing for the Sioux tonight because of fighting penalties last night. Eric Dornfeld, a defenseman for Minnesota, and Marty Nanny, a Gopher forward, also out for fighting. We mentioned last night that Paranika and Dornfeld, we originally thought they would be able to play tonight. The preliminary word we got was a game misconduct, when in fact the penalties to Paranika and Dornfeld were game disqualifications, so they will be sitting out this one tonight. Also, Scott Bloom for the Gophers will be playing with a slightly separated left shoulder. Back with tonight's game in just one moment.
Saving money. It's something we all like to do. At Happy Harry's Bottle Shop, our buying power helps us save money, and we pass those savings on to you. And our services also mean savings. We offer generic no-frill beverages, a real money saver since 1979. We offer unit pricing to show you which size bottle is your best buy. Saving money. We all like to do it. See us at Happy Harry's Bottle Shop.
We're saving at Happy Harry's. We like it.
Where should you go when you want that ultimate pizza? Shakey's Pizza knows. 100% real cheese, fresh homemade dough, and the finest ingredients. Available in any combination. Shakey's, where pizza's deliciously fun. Fun for all ages. And if you think great pizza is all they have, well, come see it all for yourself at Shakey's. Good taste, naturally. All new Chrysler products, Jeeps, and Renaults, 1% over invoice.
Pat Sweeney and Serge Gambucci back at Grand Forks for Game 2, the Sioux and the Gophers. The Sioux took Game 1 last night 5-2, and when it was all over, both coaches told us what they expect tonight.
For Minnesota, you know, for them, they can be no further ahead than what they were coming in here. So the key for them is to try to get tomorrow night's game and walk out here satisfied with a split. When you get the Friday night game, as we did, then you're never satisfied with a split.
You know, I asked the kids just think tonight whether they thought they individually they played up to their capacity, both mentally and physically, and make their own assessment on that, and come back tomorrow night and address that issue. You have to feel good about yourself, and then if you do that, you can feel that you've done your best.
Doug Woog looking for more enthusiasm from the Gophers tonight. They seemed to deteriorate as the game went on last night. There you see how it stands today in the WCHA. North Dakota now alone at the top with Minnesota 2 points back. Northern Michigan and Wisconsin tied for third with Denver next at 22 points. Recapping the scores from last night, Northern Michigan over Lowell by a goal. Wisconsin in overtime beating Duluth. Maine whipping Michigan Tech. Boston College 8, Denver 6, and Colorado College getting victory over New Hampshire. Tonight, Lowell visits Michigan Tech. Duluth stays at Wisconsin. Maine goes to Northern Michigan. Boston College now at Colorado College, and New Hampshire trading off with Denver. In goal for the Sioux, as we mentioned, Scott Brower. Hasn't played for a while, but Eddie Belfour going great guns the past 3 games. Apparently Gino Gasparini deciding to give Steady Eddie a rest tonight. Rob Stauber will be the Gopher goaltender. John Blue had played, I think, the last 7 consecutive games. Stauber just back from the U.S. junior team in Czechoslovakia. So he also seeing his first action since even further back than Brower, December 14th, as Doug Woog decides to pull a change in goal as well. The officials tonight, Mito Martinello, the referee. The linesman will be Keith Markstrom from Roseau and Pat Pfau of Bemidji. Tony Herkus and Corey Millen on the draw, and we're underway with Game 2 from Grand Forks. Scott Brower leaves it for a teammate, but the Gophers come in. Out at the point, it's held in by David Espy. Back behind the net, Berglund tries a centering pass right to Millen now. Millen in front, it's through the slot as Chorsky was camped in front. And now Bob Joyce for the Sioux, clearing it ahead. Espy breaks up that pass to Parks, and Chorsky pumps it in for Minnesota. Ian Kidd, number 4, swats it around. Chorsky will intercept out to Berglund. Misses on the shot as Parks helped deflect it out. Sioux sending out a new pair of defensemen, Mike Lemoyne and Russ Parent. Gophers try to get it out of their own zone. Randy Scarda now throws it errantly into the corner. Now the Gophers come out of there. It's Chorsky, number 17. He heads to the bench as the Gophers send out a fresh line. Russ Parent with Jay Cates taking a swipe at him. Mike Lemoyne now losing it momentarily. And the Sioux clear ahead. Lee Davidson runs into a check from Lance Pitlick. Russ Parent pushes it in. Todd Richards back for Minnesota. Clears it ahead to McSwain. Takes a hop over his stick. And Parent gets it back into the UND zone. Here's Mickey Krumpetich wheeling at center. Krumpinich a long shot. Pad save, Rod Stauber. Loose puck grabbed by the Gophers, number 14, Jay Cates, off the stick of Scott Bloom. And now the Gophers change once again. Intercepted by Richards, but it's carried in offside. 18-18 remaining in period one.
Well, the Gophers seem to be skating a little bit harder tonight and put a little bit more pressure on the University of North Dakota in their end. So far, if you had to give the territorial right, you'd have to give it to the University of Minnesota for the first couple of minutes of play in the first period.
There's Craig Mack, the defenseman from East Grand Forks. We'll be visiting with Craig during our second intermission. No score here in the early going. The Sioux and the Gophers. Gary Shopek throwing it in for Minnesota. Scott Brower leaves it behind. Now bumping in the corner. Orth can't control it. Now he gets it back again. Intercepted by Koborinsky. Held in by Shopek. A screen shot. That's off the mark. Brower pokes it into the corner. Barry Nakonechny, number 10, around for Tarek Howard. Takes a big hit from Paul Broughton. Now Koborinsky bumps with Steve Orth. Whistle and a face-off coming up.
Well, you just saw a couple of big hits by either team, and we heard Doug Wolf saying that we got to get a little bit more physical, and they're certainly starting early on in this hockey game. And as I mentioned earlier, the pressure has been on the University, and you're going to see the University of Minnesota taking more shots on goal that they didn't do last night. They're working for that picture play, and I'm sure they're going to take a lot more shots on net.
Now it's Jeff Bowen, number 9. Clearing it over for Koborinsky. Now Nakonechny bringing it in. Can't get the pass off as Shopek intervenes. Shopek then blocks the pass by Kidden. Back come the Gophers. 2-on-1. Broughton with Shopek. Broughton moving in. He shoots, and the big save by Brower, who stood his ground. Murray Barron wrapping up his man. Stuff attempt. And Brower scoops it up as Shopek was right there. So the Gophers getting some breaks right here.
This is Gopher going around the net. He's trying to stuff the puck, but it was deflected up into Scott Bauer's hands to create a face-off. But shortly before that, that 2-on-1, Murray Barron played it beautifully. He forced.
Well, it was Broughton who got the shot.
I think it was
off.
Broughton. That's right. He forced Broughton to the poorest angle he possibly could take, and Broughton finally had to take a shot, and it was an easy save for Scotty Brower.
This will be an icing. No, they wave it off now. Tim Berglund will get it in the corner. Up ahead to Millen. Tries to avoid a check from Kidd. Puck is sent in, and this is icing. Doug Woog didn't think that the Gophers played all that badly in the first period last night. They had plenty of chances, but he felt as the game wore on, the Gophers seemed to get worse and worse.
Well, we said that ourselves, that the first 3 goals that the Sioux got weren't the most beautiful goals that you see in a hockey game. They got a short-handed goal, a power play goal, and then a 5-on-5 goal. But I thought a couple of them, could have gone either way.
Off the draw here. Gophers in their own zone with 16:43 remaining first period. No score. Lemoyne stops it at the line. Pitlick, number 6, back for it. 4-player tie-up. Puck is still loose. Joyce wrapped up by Millen, trying to spin away. And screaming for a penalty on Millen. Now Berglund taps it ahead to Chorsky, and Parent gets a stick on it. Millen carries on, however. Millen flips it high. Russ Parent plays the carom. Now back to Mike Lemoyne from Grand Forks, Red River. Too far for Parent. Pitlick goes back for it. And the Gophers regroup. Too far for Chorsky as Parent keeps it into the zone. Now it's by Parent. Icing call here. 15:54 remaining. In our first intermission, we'll be looking at the highlights of this afternoon's basketball action from UND, the Sioux men and women recording victories over South Dakota. We'll also have a look at former Sioux star Doug Smail, now a star in his own right with the Winnipeg Jets. Now the Gophers changing lines here, putting Broughton, Granis, and Orth out against Davidson, Krumpinich, and Johnson. Doug Woog really has to juggle things tonight because he's got a couple of players missing. A couple players playing hurt. Benson from the point. A shot off target. The rebound comes to Howard. A drive and a glove save by Stauber.
Now here's a face-off. They're very, very important, especially in the attacking end. There's a shot. Missed. Comes out. Krumpetich passed it to Terkart. Just a beautiful shot on goal. It was really low, about 6 inches off the ice. And this is the type of shot that you'd like to take from the point in case of a rebound or a tip in or whatever.
Davidson getting a couple of swings at the puck there, but nothing too hard. Now the Gophers bring it out. David Granis, number 12. Granis partially fans on it. It still dribbles back for UND. There's Tarek Howard. Big Tarek leading the Sioux on a rush here. Dumping it in. Stauber will play it around the boards. Krumpetich knocks it down. Gophers get it out of there. A tripping call coming up on North Dakota. 15-14 to go. We'll take a break.
You might get caught out in the middle of nowhere with a dead battery, but I won't. This is a Delco maintenance-free battery, and when this green eye is showing, it means I've got all the starting power I need, up to 770 cranking amps. If you think your battery's fading fast, I'd start thinking Delco.
Distributed by Hofford Motor Service Incorporated, Highway 220 North, East Grand Forks.
Never wait for trouble.
Well, is it a dive or isn't it? Davidson getting a hooking call.
No, he should have fell when Davidson first took him, and Scarta decided to fall down maybe about a second or two late. A dive, I don't know, but it did throw him off stride, and an illegal act with a stick caused him to go, his stride being thrown out.
So Davidson in the box for hooking at 4:46, and the Gophers on the power play here. Play is whistled dead. And I'm not sure why. They're bringing it outside the line here, unless it was possibly a man in the crease. Minnesota was shut out on the power play last night, going 0 for 8.
I was just wondering if they thought that the net had been knocked off this morning, because one of the linesmen went up and shook it a little bit to make sure it was in place. This is the only thing that I can see.
That could be. Sioux scoring a couple of shorthanded goals last night. We'll see how it goes here with 1:28 to go on the penalty to Lee Davidson. Now it's Jay Cates at center ice for Minnesota, banking it in. Russ Parent tries to golf it out. Hits Martinello, the referee, and Joyce flips it into the bench, comes back into play, but the whistle is blown. Tony Herkus had one of those shorthanded goals last night. He is high on the team with 6. Sioux killing off 85% of their penalties. That's tops in the WCHA. The Gophers had come in here with the #1 power play in the WCHA, but nothing to show for it last night.
It dropped considerably last night, didn't it, Pat?
Boy, giving up 2 shorthanded goals, and as Doug Woog said last night, when you only score 2 and you give up 2 shorthanded, that's bound to hurt you. A minute to go on that Gopher power play. Here's McSwain leaving it for Millen, trying to dump it off. The kid is there. Jake Cates sandwiched by a couple of Sioux. Millen a stuff attempt. The save by Bauer. The rebound flipped up over the glass.
There's Millen again. You see this right here. The puck will come out. Millen will pick it up behind the net. Right here. Go out in front, not molested at all. A little bit too tight. Couldn't get a good wood on the puck, but he kept it on the ice. Tried his own rebound and threw it up over the net. And out of the rink. Millen, like I say, last night had the opportunity just like he had this past second, and he's still stoned or snake-bitten or whatever you want to call it, but he had an opportunity to put the Gophers ahead 1-0, but Scotty Brower came up big.
Scott Brower in goal for North Dakota. Rob Stauber for Minnesota tonight. We've got 40 seconds to go on the North Dakota penalty. Scarta drops it back in the net for Steve McSwain. Checked off the play by Howard. Gophers get it back. It's McSwain. Gophers having trouble getting it set up here. Now it comes to Espy at the point, back to Millet. Checked off the play by Koborinsky. Now it's Scott Bloom, number 26. So Bloom and Millen, the two Gophers playing hurt, both out there. Bloom in front, Millen a shot, and it's wide. McSwain again. Has Espy at the point. Gives it to Espy. He shoots through a screen, and it's blocked at the defense by Koborinsky. Davidson is out of the box. Here's the lead pass. Will he catch up with it? Skarda and Davidson. Davidson gets to it, but it's whistled offside.
That's right. He cannot come out of the box into the neutral zone, pick up a puck. That shot from the defensive zone, and we'll probably see it here.
He has to go back into his own zone,
He has to go back
right?
into the zone where the puck is, and then come out. But he came directly out of the box, and the pass was bounced off of the boards, and he picked it up. Touched it before the goal. Now, if the Gopher would have touched it sooner, then he would have taken it away from the Gopher player. Then it would have been a legal play. But he cannot make a play from one of his own teammates in that situation.
0-0 our score with 13 minutes to go in the first period. Intercepted by Krumpetich, a long shot, and Stauber has to make a stick stop. Lance Pitlick, a freshman on defense for the Minnesota Gophers, plays it up to Paul Broughton from Roseau. Broughton bowls over Mike Lemoyne, but it comes back to Steve Johnson. Too far for Krumpetich. Stauber out of the net to play it, and an interference call here. Minnesota getting its first penalty of the game. This will be on Lance Pitlick.
Here it comes now. The puck wasn't even in play. Pitlick, I think it's Mickey Krumpetich. It checked Mickey Krumpetich, who didn't have the puck and wasn't even near the puck. And this is an interference call. He's got to play the puck, touch the puck, and then you're allowed to hit him.
So the North Dakota power play going to work. Last night the Sioux were 1 for 6. For the year they are scoring at a 25% clip, 34 goals and 134 chances. Bob Joyce, Mickey Krumpetich, each with 8 power play goals for the Sioux. Pitlick for interference at 7:28. Now Joyce back to Herkus. Loses it momentarily, gets it in the slot, and Chorsky plays it to Cates, who clears it. Now everyone's looking at the puck. Finally, Krumpetich plays it. Goes by Joyce, and the Gophers gain control. Craig Mack, number 13. Cates did not see the pass. It goes by him right to Ian Kidd. Kidd being bothered from behind by Chorsky. Carries on, however. It's off the skates of Krumpetich, and Mack sends it out to the neutral zone. Now Cates checks one of the Sioux players, Herkus, from behind, and a penalty coming up here on Minnesota. Delayed call. It'll roll into the corner, and the whistle will blow, as that one happened right in front of Mito Martinello.
That's right. Now that'll put the University of Minnesota 2 down, and is it Cates who's going in the box? They're either checking from behind or cross-checking. I guess you call him for cross-checking there. And Tony Herkus went off a little bit hurt. I'm sure he'll be back on the ice with a little bit rest. But right now it's 5-on-3 in favor of North Dakota, and they could get one here.
The Sioux will have a 2-man advantage for the next 1 minute and 10 seconds. Cross-checking is the call on Cates at 8:18. Sioux sending out Johnson, Davidson, Krumpetich up front, Kidd and Joyce at the points. Berglund, Richards, and Chopek out for the Gophers. A 2-man advantage for North Dakota. Davidson to Kidd at the point. Over here for Bob Joyce. A lot of room to maneuver. Ian Kidd with it now. Kidd over for Krumpetich. He's turned around. Out to Joyce. Just barely gets it off. Joyce again. He shoots, and it's blocked nicely by Tim Berglund. 43 seconds to go on the 2-man advantage. Lee Davidson getting UND started. Into Gopher ice. Davidson in the slot, a shot, and it's wide. Possibly deflected. The Gophers clear the zone. 22 seconds remaining on that two-man advantage. Here comes Ian Kidd. Throwing it ahead, Krumpetich will catch up. Has Johnson in the slot. Out to the point, it's Kidd. Kidd, a shot deflected. Chopek clears it. Herkus has to go back as it was outside the line. Now Pitlick is out of the box. The Gophers still have a man into the penalty box for another 45 seconds. Broughton pokes it around Herkus. Herkus gets it back. The Sioux came up empty on a two-man power play. They've got 32 seconds to go on the man advantage, but the Gophers killing it off pretty well here. Now Brower shovels it around for Steve Johnson. Johnson, the former Grand Forks Central star, right in front of his own net, and Millen was right there too. Now Millen grabs it for the Gophers as the Sioux threw an errant pass. Parent back for Parks now as the Sioux look a little bit confused here. Taken away again by Minnesota. Breakout intended for Millen, and he is run into by Parent. Here's Krumpetich back for UND. Both teams at full strength now. Davidson centers it, and Stauber gets a stick on it. Parent throws it into the corner. Davidson muscling in there. Now Parks has it. Out for Parent. Throws it in front. Stick to side by Stauber. Now Davidson trying to play it to Herkus. That doesn't go. Now they freeze it. Action in the corner. Four-player tie up here. Puck squirts loose to McSwain. Hits Parks in the back. He swats it back in. The Sioux change on the go. Here's McSwain for Minnesota, banking it out to neutral ice. Tom Benson throwing it right back in. Glove save. Stauber. Wrapped around to the near side. Parks back in for Bobick. Brent Bobick, number 25, out there now. They jam up, and a face-off coming up.
The Sioux didn't get too much going there, but they did put pressure in Minnesota's end for the last 15, 20 seconds. Now, when the Sioux were two-minute advantage here about a minute or so ago, they were very impatient. They took some, not necessarily wild shots, but bad shots. From the point, one was blocked by Chopek at the point. Should never happen when you got a two-minute advantage. That puck should be moved around the perimeter, pick an open man, because your two-minute advantage, somebody's got to be open, but that puck has to be moved around until you hit that open man and get that triangle that Minnesota was in to be broken, so they get an excellent shot, probably within the slot, or the low slot, for an excellent shot on goal, and they weren't able to do that when they had a two-minute advantage.
So the score remains 0-0 with 8:41 remaining in period number one. They tie it up again, and they'll face it off again. We want to welcome our Western stations again tonight. KBMY, Channel 17 in Bismarck, Mandan, and KMCY, Channel 14 in Minot. Hope you're enjoying this Sioux hockey game wherever you are. And, of course, our viewers on WDAZ Channel 8 in Devils Lake, Grand Forks. Owen back of the Gopher net now, wrapped up by Steve Orth. And a face-off here as the fans let Mito Martinello know what they think about it.
This is what the Gophers didn't do last night. They were poking at the puck with their stick rather than poking at the puck, and at the same time taking the man and pinning him in the boards. And you've noticed that the last couple of face-offs that they were going right at the man. And you've got to do that. Otherwise, you poke the puck and let the guy go. He and the puck could come out, or the puck could break loose, and he could probably pound in front of the net and maybe get a pass out. But they're pinning the guy and taking him away from the puck.
Now the Gophers trying to get out of their own zone as Kidd rams into Scott Bloom, but back come the Gophers. Chorsky as Brett Strode in front. Strode falls down. A shot gets off. Loose puck still. Bloom a shot. Hits his own teammate. He's got Strode and Vakanevsky tied up, and another shot doesn't go. What a big traffic jam there, and the Gophers can't cash in. Now an errant pass. Finally, Bobick will clear it for UND. Thrown back in by Richards. Kidd retrieves for the Sioux. Gophers change on the move right here. Ian Kidd now trying to sidestep Steve Orth. Off to Herkus. He throws it in. Takes a shot from Granis. Fans screaming for a penalty against Granis. Now Orth puts it right on the stick of Parks. He dumps it back in for UND. Herkus back of the net. And that's where he is most dangerous. He is tripped up from behind. No penalty there. Now it's Steve Orth for Minnesota. Ahead to Paul Broughton. 2-on-1 with Granis. Here's Granis in the clear. A shot and a save by Brower.
Here they come. Paul Broughton holds the puck, pull the defenseman with him. A nice pass over to, who is it?
David Granis.
David Granis. Granis takes a shot. Brower moves out. Sees that Granis has his head down, moves out, stays low, and forces Granis to hit him right in the pad. Scott Brower is ready tonight. He came up big on 2 or 3 stops, and that probably was the biggest one of the game so far.
Scotty's been waiting for his chance, and he's getting it tonight and making the most of it, as you said, Serge. 7:08 remaining. First period. No score. It'll be Corey Millen facing it off against Lee Davidson here. Loose puck off the draw. Nobody getting control of it. Now it's out to Espy. A shot, and it's turned aside by Brower. The rebound right back to him. And now Chorsky shoving with Lemoyne. The Gophers look a lot crisper tonight with those passes.
Now here's a shot by Chopik at the point. It bounces off, but you see what Lemoyne is doing. He's playing the man. He's taking the man so he can't get a rebound. He's not worrying about the puck. He's just getting Chorsky out of there and allowing the puck to be played by Brower. Just a good defensive play by Lemoyne.
And it's been a defensive struggle here, 0-0. Davidson and Millen on the draw again. Rolls out to the line where Johnson carries away for North Dakota. Off for Krumpetich. Krumpetich around one man. Krumpetich backhand. Stopped by Stauber. The rebound in front. Now it's Davidson. Over at the point. Lemoyne closing in, a shot blocked by Skarda. Lemoyne fans at the puck. Now Davidson is there. Johnson picks it up for UND. Centers it through everybody. Rolls all the way back to the Sioux line. Lemoyne. To Johnson. Trying to get around Mack. Now it's Mack with the puck. Backhand pass. Millen going in. He does a little dance there, trying to draw a penalty. It doesn't work. Now the Sioux get it out. Koborinsky. Into Gopher ice. Trying to get around Chopek. Chopek jamming up there. Cates misses at the puck. Still loose. Here's Krumpetich. Has Howard in front. Krumpetich trying to maneuver. Pinned against the boards. Cates carries it away to Berglund. Tim Berglund for Minnesota. Howard in pursuit for the Sioux. Losing the puck now. Here's Bloom back of the net. Puts it right on the stick of Tarek Howard, and here come the Sioux 3-on-3. But they're in the middle of a line change now. Krumpetich off the glass. Krumpetich goes down on a check. No call there. Back of the net. Comes loose to Koborinsky. Gophers doing a better job at checking tonight. Here's Koborinsky, a bad angle shot, and it doesn't go. Bowen can't stuff it in. Loose puck in front, cleared by McSwain right to Cates. In the meantime, we had a little wrestling match in the near corner. That has broken up. Rolls back to the UND zone. 5 minutes to go, first period. No score. Now it's Paul Broughton, number 7. The brother of Neil and Aaron Broughton, shooting it in for Minnesota. Broughton and Benson go down. A whistle here, a penalty coming up. 4:42 to go. We'll be back.
There's no better way to get around in the snow than with a Honda ATV from Valley Honda. Valley Honda, out west on Gateway Drive, Grand Forks.
Well, here's a replay of that last play where Neil Broughton gets the interference. He knocks down Benson. Benson wasn't even near the puck. Broughton took a run at him, knocked him down, so he'll get an interference penalty, and of course the Sioux will be skating for the man advantage for the next 2 minutes.
Broughton for interference at 15-18, so the Sioux get another chance here. They had a two-man advantage earlier in the period and couldn't connect on that. No score here. This is Tony Herkus, number 21. Johnson and Joyce up front as well. Stauber tries to clear it, and he does. Kidd nearly got in the way. Jam-packed crowd here at the UND Winter Sports Center, the hottest ticket in town for a great hockey rivalry. Herkus whaps at the puck, doesn't get it off. Now it comes back to Bob Joyce. Gets it back from Parent. Plays catch with Johnson, back to Parent again. His pass is muffed. And Kidd retrieves for the Sioux. Ian Kidd setting up that power play. 1:03 to go on the Gopher penalty to Broughton. Everybody falls in the corner and will face it off. Steve Johnson had a goal last night. In fact, it was the clinching goal in the third period. We've got 1 minute and 1 second on Broughton's penalty. 3:43 remaining in the first period. Again, coming up in our first intermission, highlights of this afternoon's Sioux basketball action. And a report on Doug Smail, a former UND skater, now with the Winnipeg Jets in the NHL. Now Cates is tossed out. Millen will come in to take the draw with Davidson. Parks, Davidson, Koborinsky out for the Sioux. Played out to Kidd. He shoots. Kick out. Stauber cleared by Cates. Now Kidd has to go back again. Millen banging in there with him. Lead Davidson trying to skate away from Gophers. 40 seconds to go on the man advantage. Craig Mack will play the bounce. Can't clear it. Parks drops it back for Koborinsky. Waiting for some help. Out for Ian Kidd in the circle. In front, it's behind Mel Parks. Granis clears, but not out. It's Krumpetich at the point. Over for Kidd. Kidd moving in. Screen shot, and he fans on it. Bounces right to Millen. 12 seconds to go on the Gopher penalty. Millen and Granis now eating up time. The fake shot and the pass behind Granis. Krumpetich. Long lead pass for Parks, who slaps it in, and the Sioux will change on the fly. Gary Chopek winds up, gets by Broughton, gets by Benson now. Now Broughton carries away for the Gophers. A whip shot, and it's wide. Tara Coward being checked by Broughton. They go down in a heap. 2:25 to go. We'll take a break.
A long way together here in Dakota. We've prospered and grown. First National Bank has been helping business dreams come true for more than 50 years. We've loaned more money to more businesses than any other bank around. We work hard to make your success our business, and we've become this area's business finance leader doing just that. Partnership, commitment, banking Dakota style. First National Bank in Grand Forks.
Back at the UND Winter Sports Center, Pat Sweeney, Serge Gambucci. No score here late in the first period. Loose puck picked up by Bloom, but he takes a big hit from Jeff Bowen, playing at left wing tonight. He was at center last night. Scored a goal, in fact. Nakonechny over for Brent Bobick, but Skarda rides him into the board. Now Skarda takes a hit from Nakonechny. Howard puts it on the stick of the Gophers. Jay Cates up ahead for McSwain. Benson will get to it along with McSwain. Poke loose to Cates. Run into by Benson. Bowen, excuse me. Bowen and Cates still going at it. Now Bowen gets the puck ahead to Nakonechny. He loses it. McSwain grabs it for the Gophers. Taken away by Nakonechny. Back and forth we go here. Now Herkus. It gets by him. Chorsky taps it ahead for McSwain. McSwain trying to get around one man. Still a loose puck. Thrown over for Parks. Into the Gopher zone. Skarda. Knocked down by Herkus. Herkus moving in. Backhand save. The rebound cleared up to Millen. Here come the Gophers 3-on-2. Millen maneuvering. Millen a shot. Save the rebound up high. Bouncing puck in the crease. Covered by Brower.
Well, that was quite a save by Brower. Whether Brower just... Here comes Corey Millen. He picked up the puck in center ice. There he is, cutting in front. Takes the shot. Puck goes way up high. Hits Chorsky. Bounces down. Berglund couldn't quite get a stick on it, but Brower got his trapper on it to freeze the puck. And he looks behind him. That was awful close to being in the goal, but it has to be completely over the line. It can't be on the line or half a puck in and half on the line. It's got to be completely over. Got to see a little bit white between the red and the inside of the goal. But I think the Sioux were a little bit lucky on that one.
So the score remains 0-0. We've got exactly 1 minute remaining in the first period. Now Parrott tying up with Broughton. Gophers steal it back again, however. Loose puck coming to Pitlick, and it's poked away. Meantime, we've got a wrestling match in the corner, and Mito Martinello is sending somebody off here. Russ Parrott was in there for the Sioux on top of Paul Broughton, and it looks as if Parrott gets the gate for holding.
Yeah, he just wouldn't let Broughton up. Broughton tried to get up, and Russ just stayed right on top of him, and Mito was right on the play. So Russ Parrott will go in for 2 minutes.
Time of the call, 19:11. So the Gophers will close out this period on the power play. Their second chance of the night. And as Davidson got an earlier penalty, and the Gophers couldn't put in a goal there. Minnesota sends out McSwain, Millen up front, along with Scott Bloom. Richards and Shopek at the defense. Joyce and Herkus out to kill it off for the Sioux. Shot off target. Batted out by Howard, and the Gophers get it back. Now Herkus is taken down by Gary Shopek, and another penalty here on Minnesota.
I see, this is strictly mental. When a guy takes a penalty and you've got the puck, and you take a penalty while you're in possession of the puck, this is not very good thinking. And now Gary Shopek takes him right out of the power play, so they're each skating 4-on-4 for the remainder of the period plus.
19:23 the time, so just 12 seconds after Parent's penalty. Shopek is off for holding. So we're 4-on-4 here for the remainder of the period. Lance Pitlick retreating for the Minnesota Gophers. Dishes off to Steve McSwain. Back to Millen now. Runs into Martinello. Hit the referee, or rather the linesman Pat Fow in the skates. But the Gophers regain possession. Kidd stops it at the blue line, and here come the Sioux. Ian Kidd with 8 seconds to go. Being tied up on the play, and a whistle here. An offside call. And Kidd having a few close-up words with Lance Pitlick. The officials get them apart. 7 seconds remaining. No score. Gophers send it in. Tarek Howard sends it out, and the horn sounds to end the first period. Seven saves for Brower. 6 saves for Rob Stauber. So we're even on the scoreboard at nothing apiece and pretty even in the save department, Serge.
That's right. I thought territorially Minnesota had the edge, although the saves were 6 and 7 just one apart. And if the bigger saves had to be made, I think they were made by Scotty Barr, although Stauber made some big saves also. And as we mentioned time and time again, you get good goaltending on either end of the rink. You're going to get a good hockey game. We had a real good period of hockey. There's good hitting, good clean hitting, good puck movement, good skating, and right now I feel Minnesota has a little bit better jump than the University of North Dakota. They're jumping, they're bumping a little bit better than they did last night, and they're moving the puck up ice a little better. They're still not shooting the puck like I think they should and probably could, but there's still 2 more periods of hockey. North Dakota is going to have to play a little bit better, although they're keeping those rebounds away from Minnesota, and this is so important. If you can keep that second and third shot off of the net, you're going to keep that puck out of the net.
Well, certainly a better start tonight for Minnesota. Last night they were down 3-0 after 1 period, so I guess if anyone has to have a big confidence boost right here, it is the Minnesota Gophers.
Well, that's right, and then we know that the third period last night, Minnesota won it 2-1, and that had to be a little confidence booster for them also. But I thought they outplayed the University of North Dakota this first period. They bumped a little bit better. They got the puck up ice a little bit better. And North Dakota didn't concentrate any time at all to speak of, no more than maybe 10 or 15 seconds, even on the 2-man advantage where they couldn't control the puck and really make a good play on goal. So Minnesota's playing much, much better this period than they did last night.
So after 1 period, it's Minnesota nothing, North Dakota nothing. We'll be back to take a look at basketball highlights from this afternoon in just 1 moment.
You've always come to the Riverbend for their distinctive dining, but the Riverbend is no longer just a supper club. Take a break for lunch and come find an extensive luncheon menu with everything from crab salad to stir-fry chicken. Relax this Sunday and let us serve you while you enjoy brunch from 10 to 2. A Sunday brunch at the Riverbend has a variety that lets you enjoy Eggs Benedict while your companion enjoys prime rib. Whether it be Sunday brunch, a business lunch, or an evening out, the Riverbend is the perfect setting.
Experience a whole new emotion in motion. The 87 Mazda RX-7 at Wilcox and Malm Grand Forks.
We're in our first intermission here at the UND Winter Sports Center. No score here between the Minnesota Gophers and the North Dakota Fighting Sioux. Right now we're going to switch gears a little bit and talk about basketball. The Sioux men's basketball team is finally above the 500 mark in the North Central Conference. Today the Sioux won their 3rd straight game, beating South Dakota 86-70 to raise their conference record to 3-2. Let's go to the action in the first half. Brian Watson grabbing one of his game-high 11 rebounds. Watson gets it to Sherrod Russell, who had 14 of his 20 in the first half. South Dakota stayed with the Sioux in the first half. Kyle Collins' 3-point play with 4 seconds left makes it 40-34 UND at halftime. But the Sioux wake up in the second half. Eddie Cox on the intercept. Cox will put in 2 of his 20. The Sioux getting 40 points out of their starting guards today. Steve Staver pitched in with 18. This reverse builds the lead to 8. Later, Watson, the former Minot State star, with the rebound. His breakout pass is blocked, but watch Watson get it back. Watson drives in for the slam as UND recovers from a subpar first half to win 86-70.
We've had quite a grind, really, when you think about it. We've had 8 games in 15 days, but I just don't think that we were quite giving the effort that I expected out of them in the first half. We got to the offensive boards a little more the second half, and we played better defense. We drew some charges the second half, and we're generally much sharper. We created a few turnovers and got some easy buckets off the turnovers, so I thought our second half was a lot better.
In the women's game, the Sioux made it 2 wins in a row, 80-69 over South Dakota. Tina Burgundy had 18 points and 7 rebounds for UND. Later, Lonnie Town gets a hand on the ball, chases it down, and feeds Carla Nelson for 2 of her 10. Coach Martha Hutchinson then watches Gina Voracek drive in for 2 of her 16. The Sioux take this one 80-69. UND now 1-3 in the North Central Conference and 6-9 overall. And the next action for the Sioux men and women's basketball teams will be this coming Saturday night in Grand Forks. Next Saturday, January 17th, against North Dakota State. Now, the Sioux Bison men's game will be seen right here on this channel next Saturday night at 7:30. The Sioux and the Bison here on channels 8, 14, and 17. Hope you can tune in for that one. Back to hockey now. In 1980, Doug Smail was one of the spark plugs on UND's national championship team. And 7 years later, Doug Smail is still going strong in the National Hockey League. And Grand Forks fans don't have to go very far to see him, as Smail is with the Winnipeg Jets. Peter Young of CKY-TV in Winnipeg has this report.
Although he's one of the smallest players in the National Hockey League, pound for pound, there are few players with as much speed and talent as Jet forward Doug Smail. Now in his 7th season with the Jets, Smail is a product of Gino Gasparini's hockey factory at the University of North Dakota. As one of 10 U.S. college hockey graduates in the Jets system right now, and with 13 more set to turn pro next season, Smail is quick to point out the benefits of combining an education with hockey.
It really gives you an air of confidence, you know, to know you can step into something else other than the game of hockey. And certainly we're going to have to do that when the game is done. You know, not everybody is going to be fortunate enough to continue on and play a really long career and then step into coaching or management or scouting in a professional organization. So, you know, we have to prepare ourselves, and fortunately for us, college hockey is there and was there for me, and I think it's just a great boost to one's confidence on and off the ice.
In the National Hockey League record books for scoring the fastest goal ever from the start of a game, 5 seconds, back on December 20th, 1981, Smail is quite content to finish his career with the Jets.
Many people in the game today say that you're an economic fool to play in Canada, yet I think that the city of Winnipeg, the people, and certainly the organization of the Winnipeg Jets, I think far outweigh the economic situation. You've got a lot of peace of mind and a lot of pride playing in a city like Winnipeg.
One of only 5 Jet players to make his year-round home in Winnipeg, Smail considers it a great place to play hockey and to raise a family.
I have a lot of peace of mind in a city like Winnipeg, even though there's still things that go on here. You know, we've got a lot of good friends here and a lot of support, and the city really backs hockey, and it's kind of a prairie way of life here, and it's just a big prairie town, which we like very much.
Known as the heart of the Winnipeg Jets team, Doug Smail is also one of the fastest players in the NHL. And along with many Jet fans, wonders aloud what it would be like to be playing with his abilities, but in the body of, say, a Jim Kite.
Sometimes that thought crosses my mind, you know, what it would be like to play your final year in the National Hockey League at 6'4", 220 pounds. But, you know, what I've been given, I probably wouldn't be here if I was a bigger in stature. You know, I've had to compensate in certain areas and work on areas that I probably wouldn't have if I was a bigger player, and maybe I wouldn't be here right now.
Doug Smail, the little big man of the Winnipeg Jets.
Great to see Doug Smail still in action. He scored 195 points in his 3-year career with the Sioux, and still going at it in the National Hockey League. He may not be the biggest guy on the ice, but he certainly makes his presence known. And again, our thanks to Peter Young, Barry Morose, and all the gang up at CKY-TV in Winnipeg for that story. Right here at the Winter Sports Center at the University of North Dakota, it's North Dakota nothing, Minnesota nothing after 1 period. We'll be back with more right after this.
GR Graphics Incorporated has a simple goal: to be your single source for copiers by Sharp. GR Graphics selection makes it possible to have the right copier for your office needs, like the new Sharp SF9550. It can copy from 2 separate originals onto one 2-sided copy in 4 colors, has a 20-bin sorter, 4-way paper feed system, and can make 50 copies a minute. You can count on GR Graphics for aggressive pricing and excellent qualified service. A simple goal for GR Graphics to make it simple for you. Call them. No one responds like GR Graphics, Fargo, Grand Forks.
come on down to Kern Hill Furniture Co-op, because this is the final week to take advantage of no interest charges.
That's right. Until 5 p.m. this Sunday, you can still get no interest charges at down-to-earth prices on name-brand entertainment centers, television sets, microwave ovens, appliances, sectionals, or bedroom, living room, and dining room sets, all on sale at no interest charges this week until Sunday at 5.
Super savings on furniture and appliances, and you don't have to pay for the glitter. So come on down to Kern Hill Furniture Co-op, 843 Main Street.
Back at the UND Winter Sports Center, Serge Gambucci with yours truly, Pat Sweeney. And no goals in that first period, Serge, but each team had some good chances. We're going to take a look at one flurry late in the period when Tony Hirkus had a chance for UND at one end, I believe, and then the Gophers came back with Corey Millen.
Well, here comes Tony down on the University of Minnesota. He pokes the puck away. He picks the puck out of the air, takes a shot right here. Doesn't quite get a good shot away, of course. If Tony did get it away, big save by Stauber. And here comes Corey Millen. I think he's got the puck. Now, here's where he shows his speed. He's going wide to skate away from his defenders. He fakes to go outside. He got the defenseman moving out, cuts toward the center of the net, moves in between the two circles, takes a good shot. Brower stops it. It hits Shorsky, comes down. Nobody knows it. I thought it was come down and go in the net. Drops down. And Berglund tries to poke it in, but Brower is able to stop it between his pads. Now you're going to see him look behind him to see if it's in the net. And he stops it just before it goes over the goal for another save. Another big save for Scott Brower.
Just a period of close calls, I guess you might say. As far as North Dakota, what will the Sioux have to do here?
Well, I think they're going to have to jump a little quicker. They're going to have to get to the puck a little bit more, a little sooner. Right now, the Gophers are beating them to the puck. Not only are they beating the Gophers, beating them to the puck, but they're beating them hitting on their hitting aspect of the game in the boards and coming out at the puck. Now, what the Sioux has to do, they've got to open things up, make the passes a little bit sooner, a little bit quicker, a little bit shorter, and keep moving up ice. Take some better shots. And like I mentioned several times, on the power play, they got to be more patient and try to move the puck around, because the Gophers are going to stay in that box, and if they keep that puck outside of the perimeter, that's where they want it. They want the University of North Dakota to have the puck there, take those shots from the point, and open up in front of the net so that Stauber can see the puck. And Stauber's playing very, very well. And the Sioux are doing a good job killing off penalties. They're killing penalties tonight and last night aggressively. By that I mean wherever the puck is, they got that man chasing it. They got a chaser on the puck. They're not in that particular box, so they're keeping the Gophers off balance, not allowing them to set up. But it's a very even hockey game, really, this first period, and I think each team has respect for one another. They're not giving up any 2-on-1s, 3-on-2s, and so forth. Other than that one, that went down the other end, and Brower came up big.
We talked a little bit about the goalies. We had said how Brower hasn't played since December 28th. Stauber, of course, was with the U.S. team in Czechoslovakia. But for two guys who haven't played a college hockey game since December, they don't look too bad tonight.
No, they don't. They've been waiting for their chance, of course. Stauber played with the U.S. national team, and I'm sure he's ready. And Brower was wondering when he was going to get in because Eddie's been playing so well, and Brower hasn't been playing that well. But this is the Eddie Brower of 2 years ago when he really was an outstanding goaltender for the University of North Dakota. So both goaltenders are making great coaches out of the coaches, saying, well, we got to go with our next goaltender tonight, and they're proving the coaches to be very good coaches, as I say.
We've got 40 minutes of hockey to go, and we'll be back with the second period of tonight's game in just one moment.
Loving you, so for me we're still brand new. You're my pride and joy.
If your pride and joy is a car, protect it with a Wix oil filter. Inside, Wix has 1/3 more filtering area than the leading brand. A steel core and metal end caps, not paperboard. Isn't your car worth a Wix?
Available at your local A.G. Everson store.
Is this your favorite part of winter? Then the Ski Shop is the place for you. They have everything for winter fun but the snow. Fashion winter wear for the whole family. The largest selection of skis and accessories around. And now there's something new at the Ski Shop.
Hi, this is Terry from the Ski Shop. We are proud to announce the new Raleigh bikes. Not only do we provide fun in the winter, but wheels for the summer at the new Ski and Bike Shop, downtown Grand Forks. But wait, there is more to come.
All new Chrysler products, Jeeps, and Renaults 1% over invoice.
We're going to take another look at that shot we showed you a moment ago by Corey Millen. Apparently, we couldn't see it too well on our monitor, but now we're in close so we can see it along with you. Let's watch the puck. It apparently hits the top of the goalie stick of Scott Brower. Right there.
There it is, yeah.
There it is, yeah.
And bounces off, and this is when Chorsky walks in, and it hits him.
I wonder if it caught a piece of the post there on the way, too.
I don't know. But anyway, it bounced off at Chorsky. I guess it went down in front of Brower and slid behind his pads, and he was able to squeeze and keep the puck out of the net.
Well, both teams will start this second period with a man in the penalty box. Russ Parent has 1 minute and 11 seconds to go on his holding penalty. Minnesota's Gary Schopek has 1:23 to go on his holding penalty. And we talked about how tight this series was. Did you know, Serge, the overall series through the years, the Gophers and the Sioux, each team has 82 wins, and 3 games ended in ties. Can't get much tighter than that.
No, I guess not.
Rob Stauber is ready for the Gophers. Scott Brower getting set for the North Dakota Sioux. Gophers sending out the Jay Cates line to start the second period. At least 2/3 of the Jay Cates line, as we'll be skating 4-on-4 here. It'll be Cates and Steve McSwain up front for Minnesota, Herkus and Joyce for North Dakota. Mito Martinello getting set here to face it off between Cates and Herkus. And we're underway with period 2. Todd Richards over to Lance Pitlick. Minnesota starts the rush. That puck hit Keith Markstrom, the linesman stationed at the blue line, and the Gophers reorganize it. Hit Markstrom in the skates. He's okay. Lance Pitlick in front of his own goal. Leading it out for Minnesota. Around it goes over Herkus' stick. Now Joyce sweeps in to pick it up. Gets by Richards. 3-on-1 come the Sioux. Here's Joyce trying to get around the defenseman Pitlick. And Pitlick will get a penalty here. But maybe a good penalty for Minnesota.
Well, it could have just as well been a good penalty. Here comes Bobby Joyce, and there's his strength got by that first defender. And Pitlick just takes a run, just dives at him, takes his legs from right under him, and it's an obvious trip. It's not a dive, obvious trip, and like you say, it could have been a good penalty. If he didn't take him down, Bobby probably could have cut in front of the net and got a good shot on goal. But a definite tripping penalty.
So Pitlick is in, or rather, that was Schopek standing up there. Schopek still has 44 seconds on his penalty. So the Sioux will be skating 4-on-3 here for the next 32 seconds. Then they will have a 2-man advantage for 12 seconds.
I'd say a 4-on-3 is a much more better advantage than a 5-on-4. More ice to maneuver in.
In fact, we saw that last week in our series against the Boston schools. Ian Kidd in the corner. Out at the point, it's Krumpetich. Over for Steve Johnson. Back to Ian Kidd. Wrapped up by Richards. Now it's Johnson for the Sioux. Dropping it back, it hits Martinello, and the Gophers clear the zone. Russ Parent getting ready to come out of the box, and now the Sioux have a 2-man power play for 12 seconds. Parent will skate to the bench. Bob Joyce comes out. Herkus can't get around the defenseman Richards. Espy is there. Now a loose puck flipped into the crowd. And time has expired on the other Gopher penalty to Chopek, so now Pitlick is the lone man in the penalty box for Minnesota with 1:13 remaining. No score here with 18:34 to go. Tim Berglund out there now to take the draw for Minnesota. Got a trivia question about Tim Berglund here. Should we give it to him now? Okay. What do Tim Berglund and Serge Gambucci have in common? And the answer is they're both celebrating birthdays tomorrow. And Serge, what was your answer earlier?
Well, we're the same age. We're twins.
Same age. Whatever you say, Serge. Well, I know. Well, that must mean you're going to be 22 tomorrow then. Okay. Bob Joyce drops it back for Herkus. Joyce is thrown to the ice. Herkus now try to get it in front, blocked by Chopek. Joyce scoops it out. Lays it to Ian Kidd over here for Krumpetich. Back to Kidd. Kidd winds up, a shot wide. Johnson can't get his stick on the rebound as Mack got in the way. And the Gophers send it out of there with 40 seconds now remaining on the penalty to Pitlick. Ian Kidd starts the Sioux back. His pass picked off by Craig Mack, who is run into by Ian Kidd. Now Joyce for North Dakota. Bob Joyce out of Winnipeg, Manitoba. Dropping it back, Krumpetich closing in. Around one man. Krumpetich plays it back to Joyce. Over for Kidd. Back to Joyce in the corner. Joyce with Johnson and Krumpetich in front. Now it's Herkus at the line. Over for Kidd. Back to Joyce. A shot. Stick save. Stauber the rebound to Krumpetich. He goes back in the net to set it up. Out to Herkus behind him. Pitlick is out of the box. Herkus maneuvering around traffic there. Out to Kidd now. Can't get around Berglund, who takes him down. Fans scream for a penalty. No call. And it's in the neutral zone. A couple of Gophers run into each other, and now Berglund has to get it. His shot is off the mark. Pitlick in front. Sprawling save by Brower as Berglund was there. Back of the net it rolls. Krumpetich for North Dakota to Herkus. He's tripped up by Broughton. Penalty here on Minnesota. 16:47 to go. We'll take a break.
Dreamed of your wedding day, floating down the aisle in your perfect dress. Faintly, you envision the groom. And now that a special man has asked you to marry him, come to Norby's Bridal Show, Sunday, January 18th at the UND Memorial Students Union. Let these participating sponsors start you on your way to a perfect wedding day. Norby's has been making brides' dreams come true for 48 years. Norby's, where dreams come true.
Broughton 2 minutes for tripping at 3:13.
There comes Herkus. He beats Broughton, and Broughton trips him right there. And half trip, half dive. But it's a penalty for Broughton. So again, the University of North Dakota is on a power play. They're going to get one of these times.
Shot back into the Gopher zone, and it is whistled for icing. 6 seconds tick off on the penalty. Unofficially, the Sioux 0 for 4 on the power play tonight. Oh for 4. We've confirmed it now. There's Paul Broughton. He's really developed since his days at Roseau High School. And now the Sioux start out. Mal Parks throwing it in. Rob Stauber, number 1. Clears it, but not out. Held in at the point. Here's Perrin to drive. It's high. Davidson gets it now. With Richards on him. Richards on the poke check. Gets it loose for Orth. And he sends it down the ice. 1 minute, 25 seconds to go on the penalty to Broughton. This is Tom Benson, number 6, over for Davidson. Lee Davidson just back from the U.S. junior team over in Czechoslovakia. Chopek plays the bounce, knocked down by Benson. Stopped at the line by McSwain, but Benson fires it back. McSwain clears it. Here's Cates picking it up. Cates one-on-one with Parent. And he kills off more time. 56 seconds to go on the North Dakota power play. Russ Parent, number 17, trying to get something going here for the Sioux. Dishing off for Mal Parks. Puck rolling on top of the boards. Parent flips it back. It keeps rolling on top of the boards. Finally, it's down. And playing the puck with the hand is called. Boy, you couldn't do that.
With the puck there.
You couldn't do that if you tried 100 times. Puck was rolling one way on the glass, on top of the boards, that is, and Parent threw it back to Parks, and it stayed right on top of the boards. So we've got 35 seconds remaining on the penalty to Broughton. The Gophers sending out a fresh unit here. Corey Millen and Tim Berglund. Randy Scarta and David Espy. Once again, the Sioux without Grant Paranika and Scott Doob, ejected for fighting last night. Minnesota playing without Marty Nanny and Eric Dornfeld, also kicked out for fighting. No score here with 15-13 to go, second period. Sioux on a power play. But right now they're bottled up in their own zone. Parent over for Kidd to Bob Joyce. Steve Johnson back in the net in front. Herkus for the goal! Tony Herkus breaks the scoreless tie.
And they got their power play goal. You give them enough chances, they're getting that one. There's Bob Joyce. Pass it over to Steve Johnson. Steve Johnson starts behind the net, sees Tony Herkus open in front, right in the slot. Tony one-times it, picks it up, and puts it over Stabler for the University of North Dakota's first goal. There it is again. Steve sees him. He doesn't go all the way around the net. Sees Tony Herkus, and right away Tony, without hesitating, boom, puts it on net, and it goes in. Corey Millen was trying to check Tony Herkus, but he couldn't quite get his stick out of the puck, away from the puck, I should say.
Herkus scoring his 21st of the season. Johnson and Joyce assisting at 5:04, and the Sioux lead at 1-0. And an icing call here. So the Sioux finally strike on the power play. Herkus getting one shorthanded last night, getting one on the power play this evening. The UND Winter Sports Center, the biggest sardine can in town. Tickets at a premium this weekend in the battle for first place in the WCHA. They had guys standing in line yesterday morning at 6:30 waiting to get in. Now Minnesota picks it up. Scott Bloom centers it to Cates. He can't get the shot off. Finally he does, and it's wide. Bloom again throws it around. McSwain and Nakonechny in a race for it. Over in the near corner now. Bowen tapping it out. Richards interfering. Now it's Lemoyne shoveling it around for Benson. Clearing attempt, held in. Bloom a shot and a stick save by Brower. Bloom again, backhand wide. Richards pinching in from the point. Cates will get it. Rolls right to Brower, and somebody broke a stick. It was Mike Lemoyne, but Brower covered it up.
Gophers putting a lot of pressure on North Dakota at this point, and they had a couple of attempts on goal, and Brower had to come up and make the save. Nothing real difficult, but still difficult shots to stop. And there he was able to control the rebound on that particular shot. It was a good shot, but he was able to keep it within his reach, dove off, and put his glove over it before the puck could be put in.
14 minutes and 6 seconds left in the second period. It is 1-0 North Dakota. Tony Herkus scoring at the 5:04 mark here. This will be icing. And they bring it back into the UND zone. Our second intermission will be chatting with Gopher senior defenseman Craig Mack, number 13 of East Grand Forks. As Kropotich tied for the team lead in power play goals with Bob Joyce. Puck kicked loose in front of the Sioux net. North Dakota sends it out to the center ice area. Shopek misplays it. Gets it out of trouble, though. Now Craig Mack up ahead for Broughton. Taken away by Kidd. The lead pass to Johnson. Now Davidson with Mack on him. Mack pokes it over to the near side. Krumpetich picks it up. Centering pass through the slot. Deflected. Davidson and Mack still wrapping up. Loose puck Johnson. Checked off the play by Orth. Granis ahead for Broughton. Broughton can't get around big Murray Barron. And an elbowing call here on North Dakota. Lee Davidson skating right to the box. That was
way behind the play.
Behind the play, yeah. Back in the Minnesota end. Can't say that I saw it, but Mito Martinello did.
He certainly did, and now Minnesota has an opportunity to tie this game. They're due. They're 0 for about, what, 8 or 9 in 2 nights, and they've got supposedly the best power play percentage in the league. They certainly haven't shown it this week.
They're 0 for 9 this weekend. Out to the point, it's Gary Shopek. Minnesota trailing here 1-0. Scott Bloom, number 26. Out to the point, Richards. To Bloom, a shot. Save Brower, the rebound, and a goal. Steve McSwain.
Well, they were due, and it was a good goal. Steve McSwain stopped. Brower thought he had it, slipped out from underneath his pad, and McSwain, unmolested on the right side of the net, put it in. Here it comes. Pass down deep, down low. There, Brower stops it. They're sitting there right in the crease, and McSwain just moves in and makes sure it goes in the net. And I don't know that it had gone in if Steve McSwain wasn't there. There it is again. Bloom passes it back. There it comes. Back to Bloom. Takes a shot. And McSwain is right there to put in a loose puck. I think I could have put that one in. But it, like I say, they were due. They were overdue. Now it's tied 1-1, both power play goals.
Steve McSwain is 21st of the year, 7:02 the time. Richards and Bloom on the assists. And we're knotted up at 1, and the Gophers come in again with Millet. Centering pass goes right to Bob Joyce. He clears it. Past Todd Richards. Now Parks causing trouble. Perkis trying to take it away. Back to Parks. Bouncing puck through the crease. Right in front of the goal mouth, and now the Gophers get it out, but Parks carries in. Parks trying to get it back for Herkus, and it's intercepted by Minnesota. 3-on-2 come the Gophers. Drop pass. Chorsky wrapped up by Herkus. Rolls right to the goal mouth, and Berglund got a stick on it, but it goes high into the corner. And penalties coming up here. Or the net, I'm sorry, off the magnets, but I believe there's also, yeah, hooking penalty here on Herkus.
And you'll see it here. When he goes in, you see Herkus got his stick right around. He's pulling back and prevents him from getting the shot, which you've got to do, but not illegally. And of course, Tony, a good penalty, because otherwise it would have been a shot on goal and possibly a goal because he was really in tight.
Well, we've had a power play goal for each team here in the second period. Now Herkus in the box for North Dakota. 7:48 into the second period. Now Millen wins the draw back to Todd Richards. Over here for Shopek. Into Scott Bloom, the freshman number 26. Back for McSwain, who has the only Gopher goal, and Kidd sends it out of trouble. Here's Richards leading the Gopher defenseman in scoring with 32 points. To Scott Bloom. Bloom weaves his way in. Now it's Richards, number 16. Over for Shopek, a shot and a stop by Brower. Out at the point, it's Bloom again. Rolls back for McSwain. Gets away from Howard. But he can't get away from Kidd. Now it's thrown in the far corner, Millen. Out to Richards at the line. He shoots just wide. The rebound right to Brower. And Millen and Howard go down in a heap. McInerney in there as well. And nothing will come of this.
Well, Millen is very hungry, as you can see the way he went after that rebound. He would really dug and crashed the net for that rebound. Came out a little bit too far, and of course Scotty Brower was able to get down. Here comes the shot back to the point, back to the circle, rather. Good shot, misses the net. And this is a little bit later. Here comes the puck back to the point now. And
well, let's see the whole thing over.
I'll say, boy, we're really going back.
Here we go. I think here's Millen in the corner.
Now he'll push it back to the point. Now there's a real hard shot. Comes off the boards. There's Millen crashing. And of course, the goaltender was able to freeze the puck before Millen got his stick on it.
Now Shopek over for Richards. Back to Shopek. Around for McSwain. Gets it loose to Millen. Now Richards a shot. Gobbled up by Brower.
Now that was a great shot by Scott Brower. You could see that Millen fed Richards. Richards was moving in from the point. There it is. Right there. And as Brower saw that puck move out to Richards, he moved out to take the angle away and force Richards to hit him. Killed the play right there, was able to not give up a rebound and trap the puck right below his skates and freeze it.
We've got 47 seconds to go now on the penalty to Herkus. 1-1 our score. 10:59 to go, second period. North Dakota 2 points ahead of the Gophers in the WCHA standings. In this weekend battle for first place. Now a shot just fired wide by Chorsky. Rebound comes all the way out to center, and Todd Richards gets there for it. Tim Berglund, number 27, leading the Gopher rush. Berglund with Cates, the shot deflected. Comes off the glass to Lemoyne. He rolls it off the glass all the way down into the Minnesota zone. 16 seconds remaining on the North Dakota penalty. Here's Richards up ahead for Chorsky. Tom Chorsky out of Minneapolis Southwest. Here's a shot by Berglund, and that's high. Comes down to Shopek. Penalties over to Herkus in front. That play didn't click. And it's intercepted by UND, and here comes Herkus on the break with Richards back. Herkus drops to Joyce, a shot and a goal! Bob Joyce with his 27th goal of the season.
Well, you see this transition right now from offense defense. Here goes. Now Ian Kidd is going to get the puck. He sees Bobby Joyce or Herkus right up there. Hits him with a beautiful pass. Herkus pulls the defenseman, drops it past to Joyce. Joyce keeps it right on the ice on the glove side for a beautiful goal. Just boom, boom, boom. There it is again. Kidd to Herkus. Herkus takes a shot. Feeds Joyce. Joyce draws it back just a little bit and gets a quick shot off, and just a perfect three-way goal by Bobby Joyce, Tony Herkus, and Ian Kidd. That's the way the game is supposed to be played.
You gave the scoring. Joyce from Herkus and Kidd. 10 minutes into the second period, and North Dakota leads Minnesota 2-1. And boy, before you could blink, the Sioux are right down the ice, and that's more like it as far as Gino Gasparini's concerned. Now we're ready to go. And it comes back to Randy Scarda, number 10. Over for David Espy, throws it out to center ice. The Sioux shoot it back in. Stauber has to make a stick save. Around it goes, picked off by Krumpinich. Drops it back, intended for Johnson, broken up by Orth. Going for the freeze. Komarinski steals a shot. Stuff attempt. No good as Stauber was there to stop it. Now the Sioux get it back again. Johnson can't get around Espy. Gophers Granis backhands it in. Tarek Howard clears it for the Sioux. Orth back in for Minnesota. Delayed offside here. Now Krumpinich for the Sioux. Krumpinich Overskates the puck, leaves it for Johnson now. Out to Benson at the point. The shot deflected high. In to get it is Randy Scarta. Takes a hit. Gets the pass ahead to Broughton. Now Broughton for the Gophers. Rifling it in, and the Gophers change on the move. Benson, a lead pass for Krumpetich. Try to get the break going here to Bowen now, and he's spun around by Cates. Back comes Minnesota. Todd Richards, number 16. Poke checked away by Nakonechny. Now it's off McSwain's stick. Benson going back to Howard. Plays it ahead. It gets by a teammate. Stolen away by Scott Bloom. And Pitlick has to wait for it. Taken away by Lemoyne. Bobick losing the puck now. Still a loose puck. Cates finally dumps it in for the Gophers. And the Gophers make another line change. Lead pass for Bobick. Can't get around Craig Mack. Fans screaming for a penalty call in front. And Stauber had to be alert there. Nobody there for a rebound, however, but the puck did bounce to him. Icing call, 7:56 to go. We'll take a break.
Acme Electric, tool crib of the North.
Get the professional edge with this Black & Decker 4.5-inch angle grinder, now sale priced at just $59.95. Fall projects go smoother with a Black & Decker cordless drill kit, priced at only $89. Get the professional edge at Acme Electric, with stores in Grand Forks, Fargo.
Acme Electric, tool crib of the North.
From the face-off, it's Bob Joyce. He just scored the go-ahead goal for UND. SB checking him. Vito Martinello stops play, and a face-off to the left of Rob Stauber. We want to thank UND Sports Information Director Lee Bonet and University of Minnesota Hockey Information Director Tom Greenhoe for their assistance this week with the names and numbers and statistics. We sure appreciate their help. Bob Joyce and Tony Herkus have the North Dakota goals tonight. McSwain has scored for Minnesota. Loose puck comes to David Espy for the Gophers. Plays it too far for Berglund, and another icing call here. And they'll bring it back again with 7 minutes and 28 seconds to go in the second period.
Since the Sioux got that second goal, it seems as though the momentum has swung their way.
Well, the crowd's still a little quiet here. Surprising for the demand for tickets for this series. Now they're getting going with the wave.
They must have heard you.
Which isn't, well, I don't like the wave either, so. Well, at least they don't have a scoreboard that shows a pair of hands clapping like they do at the Metrodome and Met Center. So at least the fans are taking it upon themselves to get the cheering going here. 2-1, Sioux lead the Gophers. They try to breakout pass there, intercepted by Barron and deflected wide. Now Paul Broughton starts the Gophers back, 3-on-2. Over for Orth. Orth a shot, kick out by Brower. Brett Strout, number 33, knocked into the boards by Kidd. Comes out for Richards. Now he sends it just wide of the goal. Murray Barron for UND, ahead for Krumpetich. Kick back in, delayed offside call here on Minnesota. He and Kidd taking his time with the puck. Now it hits the stick of the Gopher player, Brett Strout, and the whistle is blown.
7 minutes left in the second period. Minnesota Duluth Bulldogs 2, Wisconsin Badgers nothing.
Duluth leading Wisconsin 2-0 in the second period. Wisconsin took last night's game 3-2 in overtime in Madison. Puck rolls right to Scott Brower. Steers it around for Tarek Howard. Our score in Grand Forks, North Dakota 2, Minnesota 1, with 6.5 minutes remaining in the second period. Now Scott Koborinsky loses his stick, goes after the puck anyway. Picked up by Bowen. Bowen in front. Oh, and it's under the stick of Nakonechny. Tarek Howard, a high shot. Rolls on top of the boards. Koborinsky has to knock it down. And a hand pass is called by Mito Martinello. Ed Belfour, the backup goaltender for North Dakota tonight. John Blue, the reserve netminder for the Gophers. As you look at Perry Nakonechny, the senior from Dauphin, Manitoba. All the ejections last night, forcing both teams to juggle their lines a bit. Koborinsky's line mates last night, Dubin and Perenika, both ejected for fighting, so he's playing with Bowen and Nakonechny this evening. Here's Kober with the puck, back to Bowen. That's Nakonechny in front. Bowen loses the puck now, and it's McSwain. Nakonechny gives him a shot. Cates finally clears it for the Gophers. Here's Benson for North Dakota, backhanding it in. And the Sioux change on the fly here. Randy Skarda out to neutralize. Howard sends it back and takes a big check from Steve McSwain at the Sioux blue line. Carrying on is Herkus. A couple of Gophers go flying at him, and a penalty here, elbowing the call. 5:31 remaining. We'll be back.
McDonald's tells me that under that big black bar is a special limited time price on a Big Mac. Gee, I wish I knew what it was. They just told me that if I showed it to the public, it could cause the largest outbreak of Big Mac attacks ever. Yep, it's right under there. Some incredible unknown price. Maybe just a peek. 99 cents for this hot, mouth-watering Big Mac? 99 cents for all this? Stay calm. Women and children in the car first!
Steve McSwain for elbowing.
Here it comes right here. There's Steve way up high. See, he threw that elbow right at Tony's head, and a very easy call for Mito Martinello to make, and the Sioux are on a power play now.
And the Sioux lead it 2-1. Kropidich in front, and it just didn't connect as Herkus was right there at the doorstep. Herkus goes through him, back of the net now. Johnson gets it back to Herkus. Joyce at the side. They've got Kidd and Kropidich at the point. Shot by Herkus, hits a body in front. Pitlick, and the Gophers send it out. North Dakota has one power play goal tonight. Minnesota has one. Here's Bob Joyce, the man who scored the go-ahead goal. 1:26 to go on the penalty to Minnesota. Kropidich over for Joyce. Joyce steadies himself, gets it back to Kidd at the point, a shot. Toe save by Stauber, the rebound. Joyce in on goal, a shot, and it's wide. Over here for Kropidich. Out to the point, it's Ian Kidd. Fakes, over to Joyce now. Joyce gets around one man, out to Kidd, another shot just wide. Rebound, Johnson backhand, stopped by Stauber, the rebound in front, it's still loose. Back of the net now, Herkus taps it. In front it rolls, and Stauber gobbles it up.
You're going to see here about 4 near misses. Not one of them have been on net, but they're awfully close, and they got that Stauber really going. There's Ian Kidd, just misses the net. Rebound comes out. Johnson tries a backhand, just misses the net. It's behind the net. There it goes. And of course, Stauber was able to freeze it before Herkus could do anything else with the puck. But there's some awful near misses, and if one of those that had been on goal, it would have probably been in. Good pressure by the University of North Dakota on this power play.
51 seconds to go on the penalty to McSwain of Minnesota. Rolls to Koborinsky behind the Gopher net. Nearly taken away by Schopek. Schopek in pursuit now. Comes to Mack, and he sends it down the ice. Penalty time now down to 30 seconds. 4 minutes to go in the second period. 2-1 North Dakota. Gophers intercept and clear again. 15 seconds to go on the man advantage for North Dakota. Herkus plays it softly ahead for Davidson. Now he and Schopek collide. Koborinsky behind the net. Trying to get it out for Kidd. Taps it back to Koborinsky. Broken up by Mack. Out to Kidd. The penalty's over. Kidd a long shot just wide as Parks was trying for the deflection. Davidson is tripped from behind and a high sticking call on the Gophers here. They just get the penalty over and now the Gophers are back in the box.
That's right, and a very, very bad penalty in that the Gophers once again had possession of the puck, and they're breaking out ice, and Gary Shopek takes a high stick penalty, and right back to a power play for the University of North Dakota. Not very intelligent. This is strictly mental. Tired and mental. Those are lazy penalties when you have to do that with your hockey stick.
Gophers falling into some of their old habits from last night. Shopek for high sticking at 16:36. So the Sioux get the power play unit out there again. It's Joyce, Krumpetich, and Johnson up front. Doug Woog can't be too pleased with this situation as the Sioux had some pretty good chances on their last opportunity. Parent and Benson at the points here. It's Krumpetich for North Dakota. Over for Joyce. Tried to kick it away from Pitlick to no avail. Now Krumpetich grabs it. Gets around, tried to get around Berglund, and Berglund pokes it away. Teams play catch with it, and now Joyce grabs it for the Sioux. Hits by one man and loses a stick. Gophers clear. And Benson retrieves for the Sioux. Jim Berglund keeping an eye on him. Now Millen causing problems for Russ Parent. Back to Joyce now. To Benson. 1:15 to go on the penalty to Minnesota. That play did not connect as the pass was behind Joyce. And here's a possible break for Millen one-on-one. Parent pulls him over. And the crowd loves that here in Grand Forks. Now Johnson back for UND by Richards. Johnson in on goal. Can't get the shot off as McSwain came back. Centering pass. It's just too far for Joyce to reach. 50 seconds to go on Shopek's penalty. Here's Herkus for the Sioux. 3-on-2. Herkus moving in. Centers it. Parks a shot, and it's way off the mark. Herkus again to Kidd. Kidd is turned around. Now he catches up. Right, a centering pass blocked by Richards. Kidd drops it back for Herkus. Tony Herkus in front. Parks can't get the shot off. Taken away by the Gopher defenseman Espy and cleared. 19 seconds to go on the penalty to Minnesota. Crowd urging the Sioux on. Time for one more rush here. Krumpetich throws it into the Gopher zone. Krumpetich is run into, and the Gophers send it back. This should kill the penalty as 4 seconds remain. Herkus with the puck as Shopek steps out of the box. Herkus for North Dakota. Another shot by Davidson to stop. The rebound and the goal!
It wasn't a power play goal, but it was just as the power play ended. And here comes Herkus again. He tries to make a deke. He doesn't get by with it. They take him up pretty good, but he's very persistent. There comes Davidson. And they got the Gophers turned around, and Herkus turns around, picks up a loose puck, puts it right by the goaltender who was sprawled out. Rob Starr didn't have a chance. There it is again. Davidson takes that shot. Herkus is persistent, sees the puck come out, and puts it back. Stauber, who's out of position. So Herkus from Davidson, and the Sioux's third goal.
Herkus is second of the night, 22nd of the year at 18:43. Davidson should get one assist. With the information we have has Parks and Parent. I don't believe that's right. Maybe we can double check the replay, and it's 3-1 North Dakota. Now the Sioux with another break. Nakonechny and Bowen 2-on-2. Nako a shot, and that's off target. In front again, and a penalty here. Being called by Mito Martinello, high sticking. With 47 seconds remaining. And it is apparently on Jay Cates. High sticking at 19-13. Well, they give Parks and Davidson the assists on the goal. So Cates getting the gate there for high sticking, and the Sioux have another chance to build on the lead.
Little frustration setting in on the Gophers, and they really don't have to do this. You know, power play, it's quite an advantage for the University of North Dakota, especially when they got 2 quick goals.
Now it's Bob Joyce in the corner for North Dakota, out to Kidd at the point. 38 seconds to go in the period. Herkus over for Joyce. Here's Kidd. Drive from the blue line, deflected, rolls right to Stauber, who tees it up for Berglund. Joyce to Johnson. It's hard off his stick, and Richards takes it over. 14 seconds to go in the period. Sioux with a man advantage in time for another rush. Krumpetich to Johnson. Rolls on top of the boards again. We've seen a lot of that tonight. And a held puck here with 2 seconds remaining. Now, a face-off in Minnesota's end. Apparently, Gino Gasparini not going to pull Scott Brower. Although last night we saw Doug Woog pull that maneuver with the Gophers pulling John Blue in a situation like this with about 3 seconds to go, and in the hopes that they could get an extra skater out and a possible shot off, but Gino keeping Brower out there here. So exactly the opposite situation we had last night, although looks like the Sioux have something cooking here. Krumpetich is back at the top of the circle behind Herkus.
Well, they got all 3 men blocking out so that hopefully Herkus can get that pass back to Krumpetich and not allowing any Gophers to come out and block Krumpetich.
Puck is down, and it won't develop. That's the end of the second period. And North Dakota leads it 3-1 over Minnesota. Goals in that second period. 2 by Tony Herkus. 1 by Bob Joyce. And Minnesota's lone goal coming from Steve McSwain. The saves in the period, Brower had 8 for a 2-period total of 15. Stauber had 6 for a 2-period total of 12. What do you think, Serge?
Well, North Dakota certainly took over in the last 7 or 8 minutes of that particular period, and it shows on the scoreboard. Minnesota, maybe they're tiring. I don't know. They've got a couple, like you said, a couple of hockey players out. Of course, so does North Dakota. But they've also got a couple of their key boys hurt, and I think it's starting to show. Millen is he was not effective this period as he was in the first period, and he's supposed to have a sore knee, and maybe it's showing up. But North Dakota certainly isn't letting up. I thought Minnesota was carrying the play the first period, and they started strong in the second period, but like I say, about the middle of the second period, it definitely was all North Dakota. Now they're ahead 3-1, and again, Minnesota's going to have to play a little catch-up hockey. Some stupid penalties on the part of the University of Minnesota, and allows North Dakota to be on a power play once again.
We're going to take a look at that last goal by Tony Herkus. It was not a power play, but a penalty just expired before it. This was the one that everybody seemed to get a shot off.
Now here he is. Tony's going down now. He dekes him. Right, then he kind of loses a puck. And rather than take Tony out of the play, they allow him to go back. There it is. Davidson takes a shot. Now Tony is able to get the rebound. Right there. Right there. As he's falling, he puts it on his forehand shot and puts it in the left side of the net. And as you can see, that Stauber is laying flat on the ice on the right side, and he had the whole net. All Tony had to do was get his stick on the puck, directed towards the net, and it was going to go in because the goaltender was completely out of the net. What they should have done there is taken, Tony, the effective goal scorer, hockey player he is, you got to take him away from the puck as far as you can. If you can take him out of the building, you should do that. But they allowed him to stay there, and of course Davidson was there also, and there was a melee with about 6 guys in front of the net, and fortunately for the University, the puck came to Herkus, and he was able to slide it in for his second goal of the period.
I was just going to say, I don't know how he managed to get the shot off with all that traffic.
A lot of traffic, but he's got good balance, and he's always got his eyes open. He's always got a nose for the puck, and he saw the puck, and all he did was just push his stick. He couldn't take any strides, just push his stick with the puck towards the net, because like I say, Stauber was completely out of the net, flat, and couldn't recover to do anything with the puck, and all he had to do is direct it in, and it went in very easily, but through a lot of hard work.
So after 2 periods, North Dakota 3, Minnesota 1. We'll be back with an interview with Minnesota defenseman Craig Mack after these messages.
If redecorating is on your agenda, there's a decorator finish that's the finest at the home of economy. Glidden Spread Imperial Latex, a decorator's classic. With Spread Imperial Flat, you get a beautiful uniform matte flat finish. Or use Spread Imperial Eggshell for a soft and satiny decorator finish. Both are extremely durable. Both come in a sumptuous palette of colors. Glidden Spread Imperial, a paint with a difference you can see and feel. At the home of economy nearest you.
Saving money. It's something we all like to do. At Happy Harry's Bottle Shop, our buying power helps us save money, and we pass those savings on to you. And our services also mean savings. We offer generic no-frill beverages, a real money saver since 1979. We offer unit pricing to show you which size bottle is your best buy. Saving money. We all like to do it. See us at Happy Harry's Bottle Shop.
We're saving at Happy Harry's. We like it.
All new Chrysler products, Jeeps, and Renaults, 1% over invoice.
North Dakota 3, Minnesota 1 with 1 period to go. And we'll have that coming up for you in just a few moments. Right now, it's our second intermission. And we're going to take a look at a face that's pretty familiar around these parts. This Gopher road trip to Grand Forks is a homecoming of sorts for defenseman Craig Mack of the Gophers. Mack from East Grand Forks. After a fine career at East Grand Forks Senior High, Mack has gone on to play hockey at Minnesota, and this game is his final regular season contest in his old home area. We talked to Craig after last night's game. This is your last trip up here, isn't it?
Yeah, that's for sure, and it's a big one, you know, getting back here for the last time. I've been lucky enough to be up here each of the 4 years, and this is probably the biggest one. Now it comes down to tomorrow night, so I hope to even things out.
Is it a special feeling for you to hit the ice?
Oh, yeah, but I mean, there's big games all the time. It seems like every game you play in the WCHA is a big game because with teams, you know, like us being so close, every game is important. This is just a little bit bigger, you know, being the hometown, and plus first place is on the line, so we can even her up again tomorrow night.
But when you come up here, do you think much about the people watching you, your friends, your family, or do you block that out?
Oh, definitely. It's in the back of your mind, but you got to do your best to block it out because if you don't, it'll take over on you, you know. You got to just kind of have some tunnel vision, look forward to what you're going to do, what your role is out on the ice, and try to do the best.
Now, you were one of the many injuries on the Gophers this year. That seems to be a sore spot. The list seems to get longer every week. But still, you guys have managed to stay in the thick of the race. How do you explain it?
Well, you got to give credit to the guys who, when called upon, come through. You know, whether you're a player or just a fan, it's a lot different because there's always players in the background that a lot of people don't hear about. There's probably 5 or 6 guys on each team, including the Sioux, I'm sure, who are high-caliber players, just as good, if not better, than some of the players on the team. They just never get their chance. So when they are called upon, they're just raring to go and they play their best. And that's what we've had so far, you know, with the injuries that we've had, key players, but the guys who stepped in have just done a heck of a job.
Craig, last year your team took 3rd in the nation. This year, your last year, I imagine you really want to... Going there last year really has to make you hungry for more, doesn't it?
Oh, definitely. And I've been kind of shell-shocked here for the 3 years that I've been here. This is going on the 4th one. You know, you always dream about that WCHA title, and then after that, the big one. And we didn't make her last year. We came up 2nd place in WCHA, and then we had a one game away from when we faltered in the Final Four. So that's definitely in the front of our minds, but right now it's just tomorrow night.
As for you, though, this is your senior year. What's ahead for you after hockey?
Well, school's very important to me, and I'm right on track to graduate. And there's also, I'm looking at some options of I keep in touch with the Nordiques who drafted me out of high school. And also maybe I had some idea of going over to Europe and playing a little bit of hockey. I'd like to get out and travel a little bit.
You're going to graduate on time?
Yep, things are going great.
Not bad, a 4.0 grade average, is that right?
Well, the last 3 or 4 quarters, I think cumulative it's about a 3.8, but school's always been very important to me, and I think I bestow that upon the rest of the players, you know, and they can have an understanding. You just have to put the priorities in the right place, and they're, you know, so far so good.
What's your major?
I'm in a business administration right now with a couple minors in marketing and economics.
Well, Craig, good luck to you.
I sure appreciate it. Thanks a lot, Pat.
I can't say enough about Craig Mack. What a super young man. It doesn't surprise me that he's up there at the 4.0 grade point average. He was the valedictorian of his East Grand Forks Senior High School class. And what an achievement to maintain that level and still play major college hockey. Quite a remarkable feat. And it's not surprising when you think about the fact that the man is Craig Mack of East Grand Forks. It's 3-1, North Dakota leading Minnesota here after 2 periods of play, and we'll be back at the UND Winter Sports Center right after this.
You might get caught out in the middle of nowhere with a dead battery, but I won't. This is a Delco maintenance-free battery, and when this green eye is showing, it means I've got all the starting power I need, up to 770 cranking amps. If you think your battery's fading fast, I'd start thinking Delco.
Distributed by Hoffert Motor Service Incorporated, Highway 220 North, East Grand Forks.
Never wait for trouble.
The doors open at 12 noon tomorrow at Kern Hill Furniture Co-op for wholesale madness. $500,000 of furnishings and appliances are going on sale at markdown prices. These prices applies to in-stock merchandise only. You'll find wholesale prices throughout the store. We only have name brand furniture. All merchandise fully guaranteed. Use Kern Hill's credit plan. So come on down to wholesale madness tomorrow at Kern Hill Furniture Co-op, 843 Main Street.
All the scoring in this game has occurred in the second period, and we'll recapture those goals for you now on videotape. First, Tony Herkus for North Dakota on a power play at 5:04.
Ian Kidd passes over to Bobby Joyce. Johnson, now here's the key right there. Instead of Johnson going around the net, pulled Corey Millen a little bit off balance, and he fed it in front to Tony Herkus. Tony Herkus put in between the legs of Stauber. There comes Johnson right now. Now he looks like he's going to go all the way around. And I suppose Stauber cut him off, put it on the short side right on Tony's stick, and Tony didn't hesitate. He just, as soon as the puck hit his stick, boom, right away, he let the shot go. And there was a little element of surprise as well as a good goal for Tony Herkus, his first of the evening.
But the Gophers, the Sioux, didn't have much time to relish that goal, as just a minute 58 seconds later, the Gophers struck on a power play of their own. Steve McSwain, his 21st of the year, to tie it up at 1. The assist going to Scott Bloom and Todd Richards.
Well, there it goes. There it goes to Bloom. Bloom back to Richards. Richards over to Bloom. Bloom takes the shot. Brower couldn't quite control the puck. Went through his legs, and of course, McSwain sitting right there to put in a cripple. Just a good goal, and probably McSwain should have been taken out of the corner, the crease there, but he wasn't. And here it comes again. Down in low. Good shot on goal, and there's the puck. You see it come out, and there's McQueen just tapping it in for a 1-1 tie at this point.
And Bob Joyce broke the tie midway into this second period at the 10-minute mark. Joyce with his second goal in as many nights, 27th of the season, on the assist from Herkus, and he and Kidd to put North Dakota ahead 2-1. Let's check that goal out right now.
Well, here's Kidd. He's going to feed right there. He feeds Herkus. Herkus pulls the defenseman, as you can see, and feeds Bobby Joyce. And again, a quick shot right on the ice, beats the goaltender Stauber. Well, here it comes again. Fakes the shot. Herkus feeds Bobby Joyce. Bobby, boom, right on the ice on the glove side. Stauber couldn't quite get his pad or his glove on it for the University's second goal.
And then with just a few minutes, or less than 2 minutes, in fact, 18:43, the time of the final goal. We showed it to you earlier. We'll take a look at it one more time. Tony Herkus is 22nd of the year, second of the night from Parks and Davidson.
There's a shot from Davidson, and the puck is laying just outside the crease with about 6 or 7 guys there. And Tony has the smarts. He has a nose for the puck, and he sees as he's falling, puts a stick on it and puts it in an open net.
Kind of a scrambly goal, but it counts nonetheless.
Yeah, that's right. It's 3-1, no matter how the goals count. Whether it's a picture perfect play or not, it's number 3 is still the same.
So North Dakota still with a 2-goal cushion here, 3-1 over Minnesota. And we've got 20 more minutes of hockey for you. That'll be coming up right after these messages.
Shooting for a great evening of relaxation, good food, and fun? Then head for the East Grand Forks Golden Q Billiard Lounge. The Golden Q knows what you're looking for. Billiard tables, pinball, video games, frosty pitchers of beer, and a complete selection of delicious homemade food, including the Golden Q's famous billiard burger. It all racks up to a good time. So plan to join your friends downtown East Grand Forks at the Golden Q Billiard Lounge. You've dreamed of your wedding day, floating down the aisle in your perfect dress. Faintly, you envision the groom. And now that a special man has asked you to marry him, come to Norby's Bridal Show, Sunday, January 18th at the UND Memorial Students Union. Let these participating sponsors start you on your way to a perfect wedding day. Norby's has been making brides' dreams come true for 48 years. Norby's, where dreams come true. The heartbeat of America, Larson Chevrolet, Park River.
Pat Sweeney along with Serge Gambucci at the UND Winter Sports Center, Grand Forks, North Dakota, set for the final period of regulation time anyway. North Dakota 3, Minnesota 1. And the Gophers will start the period with a man in the penalty box. Jay Cates has 1 minute 13 seconds remaining on his high sticking call. Don't forget, next week we'll have basketball coverage for you Saturday night from Grand Forks as the North Dakota Sioux meet the North Dakota State Bison. 7:30 game time right here on channels 8, 14, and 17. And our next Sioux hockey games to be televised will be February 6th and 7th. That'll be seen on WDAZ Channel 8, February 6th and 7th against the Duluth Bulldogs. 7:30 game time both nights. Hope you can be with us for those 2 games. Scott Brower has 15 saves so far for North Dakota. Rob Stauber at the other end, 12 saves for the Gophers. Bill Cleveter not playing for the Sioux tonight. And Darren Fossen, the defenseman, also scratched. Those players did play last night. Scott Bricky also not suiting up. Brower versus Stauber. Both making their first start since December here tonight. And it has come down to the final period. North Dakota, with a victory, could take a 4-point lead over the second-place Gophers. Minnesota, with a victory, could move back into a first-place tie with the Sioux, and we'd be right back to where we were on Friday night, before it all started. So here we go. North Dakota on a power play here to start the third period. Goes back into the Sioux end, and Ian Kidd retrieves it. North Dakota with Johnson, Joyce, and Herkus up front. Krumpetich and Kidd at the points. This is Bob Joyce, the Sioux captain from Winnipeg. Waits to set up the power play, rolls right in the slot, cleared by Richards, but not out. Now Berglund takes it over. Puck flips into the Gopher bench, and a whistle there. There's Dean Talifas, the Gopher assistant coach, former Wisconsin Badger and Minnesota North Star, New York Ranger. Doug Woog there on the right in his second year as head coach of the Gophers. Has a 4-3 career mark against the Sioux. We're down to 44 seconds to go on the Sioux power play. This is Mickey Krumpetich. Tries to avoid a check from Berglund, and it's picked off by the Gophers. Intercepted again by Herkus. Herkus for the Sioux, over for Johnson in the slot, just wide. Now Berglund misses at it. Puck kept in, but the Gophers do clear. And now only 16 seconds remain on the Minnesota penalty. Long shot by Krumpetich off the mark. Lance Pitlick golfs it out. Ian Kidd for North Dakota. Fans at the puck, run into by Granis. Kidd takes Granis to the ice. Cates is out of the box for the Gophers. They're at full strength. Puck rolls to Krumpetich, who takes a shoulder block from Granis. Out in the slot, a shot by Orth, and it's blocked by the defenseman Kidd. Kidd might have taken that in the skate. Skating a little gingerly there. Back come the Sioux on a rush. Johnson cutting in, wrapped up by Skarda. Gets a weak shot off, and it hits the side of the net. Loose puck at the side. David Espy, number 24. Bounces on the far boards. Cleared to the neutral zone. Oh, Lemoyne came out for the Sioux, and he skated right back to the bench. Otherwise, the Sioux would have had too many men on the ice. Now the Sioux changing, and Lemoyne comes out. Harry Nakonechny into Gopher ice. Nakonechny on his backhand, and it's poked away by Espy. The lead pass, Bloom one-on-one. Bloom a shot and a stick stop by Brower. Lemoyne plays the rebound. Koberinsky will get there. And here come the Sioux back. Kober by one man. Pitlick clears it off to the side. Kober trying to get it in front to Nakonechny. It's deflected back of the net. Now Gary Shopek, number 25. Trying to get it to the breaking McSwain. That's batted down by the Sioux. Parent now for North Dakota. Off the stick of Nakonechny. Pitlick takes control. Loses it right in front. Stauber has to cover that up. Oh my goodness, what a dangerous play by Pitlick.
Well, you never do those things. Although he was being pressured, but you always go behind the net. Here's Pitlick. The puck is going to go on end right now. He can't quite handle it in front of the net, and of course Stauber has to put his glove on it. Otherwise, the puck would have gone in the net. Now that's a cardinal sin of hockey if there ever was one. You go behind the net. If you miss the puck, at least it's behind the net or in the corner, wherever, but never in front of the net.
Well, Pitlick is a freshman, and it showed there. Gophers have a couple of freshmen on defense this year. Randy Skarda, the other one. Now Millen and Davidson tossed out of the face-off circle here. Johnson and Berglund in for the draw. Rolls to Gary Shopek. Being tied up. Johnson pokes it over too far for Davidson. Now Mack plays it back to Shopek. Return pass to Mack. And it's Tom Chorsky leading the Gophers out too far for Millen. And the Sioux regain control. Johnson stopped at the line. Back to Millen now. Corey Millen, number 8 for Minnesota, the former member of the 1984 U.S. Olympic team. Loses it. Around it comes. Mack in a collision with Bobick. Berglund at the point. A shot hits traffic. Bounces right in front. Oh, they can't get the shot off. Chorsky had a backhand attempt. It didn't go in. Another shot from the point by Shopek just wide. Mack keeps it in play. Now Berglund in the corner. Too far for him. Shopek fans on it. In front, Chorsky again. A shot. Stop. Rebound. Millen hits traffic. Berglund was right in front. And there was nobody at the point, and it goes all the way back to the Gopher line. Here's Shopek for Minnesota to Craig Mack. Passes over intended for Granis, and Benson clears it back in. Stauber with Parks closing in. Look out. Parks has the puck. Can't get the play off, however. Now Joyce, Millen, Mack all in there. Puck was loose on the near side. Martinello didn't see it, and the fans holler about that, but we'll have a face-off anyway. As soon as the referee loses sight of the puck, he is supposed to blow the whistle, and from Martinello's point of view, he could not see it.
That's exactly right. After the whistle had blown, the puck popped loose, and it kind of made the referee look a little silly, but as you say, he loses sight of the puck, boom, the whistle must blow.
3-1, North Dakota with 15:59 to go in the third period. It's Scott Bloom in the corner for the Gophers, knocked down by Parks. Richards takes control for Minnesota. Back for Lance Pitlick to Steve McSwain. Blocked by Herkus, and the Gophers get it. Bloom losing it to Kidd, and he couldn't get it back as other players collided with him. Now Bloom trying to carry on, slapped out of there by Murray Barron. Todd Richards off the boards, blocked at the line by Ian Kidd, and Kidd starts back for UND. Stauber sticks it aside for Richards, back here for Pitlick. In front to Richards, the Gophers looking a little ragged in front of their own net at times here. Minnesota makes some changes on the fly. Brett Strode, it's hard off his stick. Joyce intercepts for the Sioux. Joyce trying to get around Pitlick. Gophers clear it into their own bench. 15:03 to go. We'll be back.
"50 years ago, John Deere welcomed farmers to the first John Deere Day, the forerunner to farming frontiers. To celebrate this golden anniversary, Appa Guards in Hillsboro, Gilby, and Park River, your John Deere dealer in the Red River Valley for 38 years, will hold John Deere Day 87 on January 13th in Gilby, January 19th in Park River, and March 4th in Hillsboro. There will be a nostalgic look at John Deere's 150 years of service to agriculture. So plan to attend.
Back to action here. The Gophers' Randy Scarta picks a bad hop in front, a shot and a goal!
The bad hop did it. Mickey Crumpfish was in front of the net, and you'll see this. Just an innocent play, but whenever you got a face-off in your zone, you got to be careful. I don't know that it was a bad hop. I didn't see the puck come out in front, but Crumpfish was there with his backhand, stick on the ice, and boom, real quick. There's a face-off, going behind the net with it. Stick was lifted up, puck came back to Krumpetich. I couldn't get the number of the guy who put the puck in front of the net from behind the net. We'll get that in a second. But Krumpetich did get the goal on a nice backhand shot, real quick. Stauber couldn't quite get himself turned around in front of the net to set himself properly to make the save.
Well, they give Bowen credit at 5:03 with Nakonechny on the assist along with Koborinsky. So Bowen with his third goal of the year and his second in as many nights.
Oh, I thought it was Krumpetich, number 9, not number 8.
Number 9.
Sorry.
It was a weird goal, kind of a bouncy one, but the Sioux poked it in. And now the lead is up to 3. Nakonechny for the Sioux as Koborinsky in front tries to get around one man. He's hauled down, no penalty call. Big collision back in the Gopher zone, but the puck rolls into the UND end. Gophers change on the fly. A lead pass here for Nakonechny. Runs into a big stiff check from Shopek. Millen misses the puck. Now he gets it. Too far for Mack. Goes by everybody now, and Millen picks it up for Minnesota. Leaves it for Shopek. A little miscommunication there. Millen carrying on for the Gophers as Chorsky on the left. Millen a shot, and it's deflected wide as Benson was guarding him. Play in the corner. Howard and Berglund digging for it. Timmy puts it right on the stick of Steve Johnson. Now Richards blocks it at the line. Loose puck in front. Benson. Timothy Krumpetich has a lead pass for Johnson. Possible, but Johnson was tied up on the play. Richards, number 16 for the Gophers. Too far for a teammate. Back goes Tarek Howard. Big Tarek, a senior from Olds, Alberta, leading the Sioux break here. Krumpetich, a weak pass, goes right to the Gopher defender Richards. Now it's Pitlick off the boards. Benson tossing it back in, and it's whistled offside. Keith Markstrom, the linesman there from Roseau, Minnesota. Handing off to Pat Fow of Bemidji. And with 13:21 remaining in period 3. The crowd cheering the Fighting Sioux on here. A jam-packed house at the Winter Sports Center. The toughest ticket in town this weekend. Maybe even tougher than the Oak Ridge Boys concert on Thursday night. Now David Espy, number 24. Retreats as Herkus was moving in. Now Espy trips. Fans give him the Bronx cheer. Gophers still can't clear it as Joyce gets a stick on it. Now they do. And it's Murray Barron for Ian Kidd. Kidd with a long drive, turned aside by Stauber. Joyce kicks it ahead. Battle there with Randy Scarta. Loose puck. Grabbed by the Gophers, Espy. David Espy ahead to Scott Bloom. It's off his stick and into the crowd. "12 minutes and 35 seconds remaining. And the fans cheering, sweep, sweep. They're 12 minutes and 35 seconds away from it. I don't know if anyone brought any brooms here tonight, but the Sioux on the way to a possible sweep here with a 4-1 lead. Next week, the Sioux hit the road, going to Providence and then to Northeastern. Sioux bring it in, but it's offside. Nakonechny goes down in a collision with Granis. Nako, a little slow to get up here.
Well, I've been talking to Granis. Winter Granis did a little stick work on him.
Well, we'll keep an eye on this here. We had a couple of altercations last night. Nothing of that kind tonight, thankfully. Intercepted by Gary Schopek, number 25. Dumps it into the UND zone. Mike Lemoyne around, too far for Parent. Granis gets a stick down on it. Batted down Steve Orth. Centering pass in the slot right to the UND defender, Koborinsky. Now Granis picks it up. Orth in front. Can't get the stick down. Another shot just wide by Granis. They play it out to the point. Schopek a shot. Kick out by Brower. In front again. And the Sioux get it. Here's Koborinsky. Bowen was hooked. And a slashing call here by Mito Martinello, but I'm not sure on whom. On Minnesota. Or is it?
Nakonechny.
Bowen was being hooked from behind. I thought that was going to be the original penalty, but Mito must have seen something else out there. So the first penalty of the period goes against UND. Slashing.
Minnesota almost has to score on this particular power play situation because the time is getting there where they have to score, and they've got an opportunity being a man advantage.
The Gophers' only goal tonight coming on the power play, intercepted by Herkus. He scored one of UND's two shorthanded tallies last night. Herkus tosses it in again. Woog wanted an elbowing call on the Fighting Sioux there, but doesn't get it. Todd Richards, an offensive-minded defenseman out there with the puck for Minnesota. Being watched by Joyce. Now it's Jay Cates losing it. Herkus getting it, but not a good shot off on his knees. Minnesota still stuck in its own end. 1:16 to go on the penalty. Now Millen finally brings it out. Millen on the left wing side. Millen pumps it toward the goal, and it's off target. Overskated. Joyce clears, but not out. Now it's outside the line, and the Gophers will have to go back. Herkus again, clearing it down while lying on the ice. Tony Herkus doing it all this weekend. Sioux intercept again. 49 seconds on Nakonechny's penalty. Howard whaps it back in. Gophers getting nothing here. Todd Richards will try it again. To Steve McSwain now. Has a man breaking in front. Rolls back to Berglund. Tim Berglund. Berglund again gets it back. Backhand glove save, Brower. As Tarek Howard had lost his stick out there. And a good percentage shot there by Timmy Berglund.
You see, Timmy, they're backing in. They're giving him a beautiful backhanded shot. And look at that glove hand of Brower, about a foot off the ice. He takes it right out of the net for just a beautiful save and a good play by Berglund. He saw the opening and he took it. He went in as far as he could and still give himself a pretty good shot. And I thought it was going to be a goal, but Scotty Brower robbed him of one.
Timmy has 8 goals in his last 12 games. Nothing yet this weekend. Now it's Tom Chorsky in the corner for Minnesota. 12 seconds to go on the penalty. Berglund around for Broughton. Out to the point, Espy bats it down. Plays it behind Broughton, and Kidd clears but not out. Now it's Broughton cutting to the slot, a shot high. North Dakota's back at full strength. Gophers bat it down again. Here's Skarda going in. Passes weakly in the slot, and it's cleared by the Sioux. Oh, Stauber comes way out of the net to clear it, and he just gets it off there. Last night, Blue tried a similar play, and it wound up in a UND goal. Would have been an icing call last night, and that came back to haunt the Gophers. Now Orth over skates it, misses it, finally passes it back to a teammate. Parks blocks the pass, flips in the air. Now Espy has to steer it out of trouble. Held in at the point by Benson. Pitlick back, he bumps with Parks. Brett Strout colliding with Bowen. Loose puck grabbed by the Gophers. Sent back in. Here's Bowen. All alone. Centers it in the slot. Hits the Gopher player in the skate and comes back to Stauber. Pitlick in front now, and Pitlick and Parks having some words. Nothing comes of that, though. 8:44 to go in the third period. North Dakota leading at 4-1.
You know, Jeff Bowen isn't a very big kid, but he's very strong. He's about 5'8", 5'9", about 170 pounds, but he's really tough in the corners. And he's great on getting the puck on net or across the crease. Whenever he doesn't know what to do with the puck, it'll always be on net or across the crease, and somebody could be there from his team to poke it in or get a good shot on goal. But you notice that all the time. Most often he'll do that with the puck.
Bowen on this draw with Cates. Jeff Bowen, a high school teammate of Gopher defenseman Craig Mack. Kind of a reunion for them this weekend. They also played football at East Grand Forks. Now Mito Martinello stepping in to straighten things out here. Now Bowen is ejected. It'll be Kobarinski on the draw. Finally, we're back to action. It's Tarek Howard at the point. A shot hits a body. Wrestling match here. Bowen being held. No call. Todd Richards getting away with one there. Back of the Gopher net. Around too far for Bloom. Howard will get to it, but it takes a hop over his stick. Bowen slaps it back in. Stauber out of his net now. Comes to Nakonechny. Loose puck grabbed by number 16, Todd Richards. Fans on the pass. Gets by one man. In come the Gophers. Richards a shot, and it's high. Down comes McSwain with it. Centering pass. Bloom puts it through the crease. Couldn't get a good shot off. Benson for the Sioux. Around for Kobarinski. Kober pokes it out. Heads to the bench as the Sioux make a line change here. Now it's Gary Shopek. Bouncing puck. Grabbed by the Gophers. Chorsky, a screen shot just wide. Here's Bobek being thrown into the boards by Shopek. And a face-off coming up here. 7:35 remaining. As you see Gary Shopek, who made the team as a walk-on. Originally a forward, moved to defense as a rookie. He was the co-winner of the Gophers' Most Determined Player Award last year with Eric Dornfeld, who is not playing tonight because of a fighting penalty last night. Sioux clear it. Icing will be waved off. 4-1, North Dakota leading the Gophers here in Grand Forks. On their way to a sweep. But the Gophers come back. Here's Berglund. Takes a hit from Barron. Kidd loses the puck. Barron clears it off to the side. Gophers try to send it back. Still a bouncing puck right through the slot area. Well, Johnson can't clear it for the Sioux. Now he does to Davidson. Davidson around Espy. Flips it into the corner. Bobek is there, has Johnson in front. Tried to play it to him, and it's blocked by the defenseman Skarda. Kidd keeping it in play. Steve Johnson, number 7, to Bobek in front. And he couldn't get a good shot away. Run into the boards by Espy. Now Skarda grabs it to Tim Berglund. Tom Chorsky now can't dance around the Sioux defender. Millen sweeps it in. Mike Lemoyne for the Sioux. Flips it out. This will be icing. 6:23 to go. We'll take a break.
There's no better way to get around in the snow than with the Honda ATV from Valley Honda. Valley Honda, out west on Gateway Drive, Grand Forks.
North Dakota leading at 4-1 here with 6:22 remaining in regulation. Russ Parrott misses on the pass attempt. Now Granis for the Gophers has it poked away by Herkus. Picking it up Lemoyne, losing it to Broughton. Now Parrott goes back to get it for UND. Sandwiched by two defenders, and Lemoyne gets the pass away. The Gophers doing some heavy-duty checking here, but finally the Sioux get it out, and the Gophers get it back. Russ Parrott can't clear it. Pitlick sends it back in. Lemoyne will catch up. Behind Bob Joyce, has Parks ahead of him. Stolen away by Paul Broughton from Roseau. Dribbles into the Sioux zone, and UND picks it up again. Parrott. Russ Parrott break pass from Al Parks in the clear. Parks all alone. Shot. Save. The rebound. And the Gophers clear it. Stauber with a big save there. That would have wrapped it up for the Sioux. Tarek Howard back in the UND zone. Tony Herkus now. Run into by a pair of Gophers. Minnesota trying to come back. Howard will get there. Dropping it over for Parrott. Now Parks clears. Held in by Schopek. A shot. Stopped by Brower. He's bowled over. The rebound cleared aside as Bloom couldn't get a shot away. Bodies flying all over here as the hitting is picked up. 4:55 to go, third period. 4-1 North Dakota. Schopek again. With Kobarinski on him. Stops. Schopek grabs it one more time in front. A shot. Hits Brower and it goes in. Tim Berglund, I believe, will get this goal. From behind the net, it hit Brower and went in.
It's either Berglund or Schopek, but I believe you're right. It hit the pipe. There goes Schopek behind the net, throws it out in front, goes in the short side. Throws it. There it is. Berglund pokes his stick at it, hits the pipe, comes back and hits Bauer behind the skate, and goes in the net. Here it comes again. Schopek around the net, stops, comes in the short side, comes out with it, little room, there's Berglund. Berglund takes a backhand shot, hits Bauer behind the pad, and it bounces off of Bauer into the net.
Tim Berglund with his 13th goal of the year. They give Bloom the lone assist, but Schopek, I believe, is the player that they mean there. In any event, time of the goal 15-17, and it's 4-2 Sioux. Now Berglund again with the puck. Pulled into by Bowen. Gophers clear out to neutral ice, and here's Millen wheeling. Millen into Sioux territory. Here's Chorsky in the clear, and the play didn't click. Chorsky again, though, in the slot, a shot. Saved the rebound, cleared by the fighting Sioux, Scott Kobarinski. Now Millen again, and it's whistled offside. Corey Millen has yet to score a point this weekend.
Well, he's had the opportunities, but the goaltender's been a little bit better than he has.
Lee Davidson's line out there. Krumpetich and Johnson at the wings. Russ Parrott for North Dakota. Granis taking some swipes at him. Around it goes all the way down the ice. Won't be icing, though, as Skarda picks it up. Trying to dance away from Davidson. Dishing off to Brett Strout. Now it's Orth battling with the Sioux, and Strout comes away with a 2-on-2 with Dave Granis. Strout for the Gophers. Tried to get it in front. Brower covers it up. 3:18 to go. We'll take a break.
We've come a long way together here in Dakota, and we've made a good life. First National Bank has been helping your dreams come true for more than 50 years. We've loaned more money to more families than any other bank around. We work hard to make your life a part of our life. And we've become this area's personal loan leader, doing just that. Person to person, year after year, banking Dakota style.
Banking Dakota style.
First National Bank in Grand Forks.
North Dakota with a 2-goal lead and 3 minutes, 18 seconds away from a sweep of the Gophers. Cates for Minnesota. The shot blocked. Todd Richards has to retrieve it for Minnesota. Richards sweeping out of his own zone. Now it's Scott Bloom, number 26. To Steve McSwain, a shot, and that's wide. They crash along the boards for it. Kidd can't come out of there with it. McSwain drops it back. Cates, a shot deflected by Herkus. Now Joyce being tied up on the play. Puck rolls outside the line. And here's Espy for Minnesota. Up ahead, Todd Richards to Corey Millen, number 8. 2:30 to go, regulation. Bob Joyce losing the puck. Somebody lost a glove out there. Now the Gophers get it back again. Shopek, number 25, rolls right to the side of the Sioux goal. Brower over here. Berglund in front. Sticked aside by Brower. Koborinsky to Nakonechny. One-on-one with Shopek back. Perry ridden off the play by Shopek. The Gophers pull the puck out, and here's Millen on a break. Millen on the backhand, tied up by Howard. Tremendous defensive play by Tarek Howard to recover from that possible break. Now it's Bowen. 1:47 to go. Sioux changing on the fly. Berglund. Now Shopek clears. Dumping it in. Richards in a race with Howard. Here's Tarek. Lead pass from Al Parks. Parks has Joyce in the clear. Here's Joyce. Shot! Hit the side of the net. Nobody saw Joyce breaking in, and the shot hit the side of the post there. 1:16 to go. Lofts it right to Stauber. He comes out of the net. Clears to center. We'll see if the Gophers might pull Stauber. Not yet, as Parks gets the shot away. Bounces right to Stauber. Around for Richards. A minute to go in the game. Al Parks in front. Joyce, a shot turned aside by Stauber. Richards now. Up ahead, McSwain leaves it for Broughton. Broughton dropping it in. 42 seconds to go. Gophers haven't pulled the goalie yet. Stauber comes out to clear it. Now they get it away as Herkus was closing in. They're not going to pull Stauber. 30 seconds to go. Millen now. Bouncing puck comes outside the Sioux zone. 22 seconds to go, and the Sioux fans with the na-na, hey, goodbye chant going here. 12 seconds. The Sioux will sweep the Minnesota Gophers. 5 seconds. Stauber out of his net. Down the ice it goes, and that will do it. Scott Brower rejoicing with Tony Herkus as the North Dakota Sioux have defeated the Minnesota Gophers 4-2 to take a 4-point bulge over the second-place Gophers atop the WCHA.
Well,
a tremendous ending anyway. A better game tonight than we had last night.
Definitely a better game. It was a real close hockey game, in spite of the same score as last night, 4-2, but the Gophers were in this one, I think, darn near all the way till probably about the middle of the third period.
saves in the period. And we don't have those just yet. We'll try to get the 3 stars for you here momentarily. North Dakota improving its WCHA record to 18-5. Minnesota drops to 16-7. So the Sioux now with 36 points. Minnesota holding at 32. 2 goals in the third period. Jeff Bowen for North Dakota at 5:03, making it 4-1. And then Berglund scoring for Minnesota to make the final 4-2. That goal coming at 15-17. You got these goalies all screwed up. Who's who? You got Milford playing. The 3 stars in the game. Tony Urkus, the first star for North Dakota, with a couple of goals tonight and 1 assist. Number 2 star, Scott Brower, getting the victory and goal for the Sioux. And the number 3 star, Bob Joyce, who had a goal and 1 assist. So that's it. We'll be back to wrap it up.
Acme Electric, tool crib of the North.
Get the professional edge with this Black & Decker 4.5-inch angle grinder, now sale priced at just $59.95. Fall projects go smoother with a Black & Decker cordless drill kit, priced at only $89. Get the professional edge at Acme Electric, with stores in Grand Forks, Fargo.
Acme Electric, tool crib of the North.
Fat Albert, submarine sandwich. Get one before it gets you.
All new Chrysler products, Jeeps, and Renaults, 1% over invoice.
The final once again, North Dakota 4, Minnesota 2. And the saves in that third period. Scott Brower of the Sioux had 7 for a game total of 22. Minnesota's Rob Stauber, 5 saves for a game total of 17. Serves just what the doctor ordered as far as the Sioux are concerned, a sweep of the Minnesota Gophers.
That's right. Now they're 4 points ahead. Now they determine their destiny. The people have to catch them. Although, as we mentioned before, there's still 24 points out there to be won or lost. But like I say, the Sioux have to lose the championship, which is a long way down the way. But it was a heck of a hockey game. I thought Minnesota controlled the first part of the game, and I think the penalty problems in the second period did Minnesota, and they got them tired. Now, they were able to kill the penalties off, but while you're killing penalties, you're not concentrating offensively. You're concentrating strictly defense. Your lines are broken up, so you've got a couple of tired men, maybe with one rested, so you throw out your whole scheme of attack. And I think it showed in that third period. The Sioux just continued plugging away, and they just definitely took the play away from Minnesota as the game progressed.
Well, as Gino Gasparini said so many times this weekend, they're in the driver's seat now with a 4-point lead over the Minnesota Gophers. Next week, the Sioux hit the road. They're at Providence Friday night, then at Northeastern on Sunday afternoon. They're back home January 23rd and 24th against Michigan Tech. Our next Sioux hockey coverage here on WDAZ Channel 8 will be February 6th and 7th against the Minnesota Duluth Bulldogs. Hope you can join us for those games right here on WDAZ. For Serge Gambucci, this is Pat Sweeney. The final score again, North Dakota 4, Minnesota 2. Good night.
This has been Fighting Sioux Hockey, a WDAZ sports production. Tonight's game was sponsored by Valley Honda, H.E. Everson, First National Bank, Grand Forks, the Home of Economy, Hofford Motor Service, the Golden Q, Acme Electric, Norby's Bridal, Happy Harry's, Shakey's Pizza, Off-A-Guard Implement, Wilcox and Malm, the Ski Shop, Fat Albert's, the Riverbend, McDonald's, and GR Graphics.